Yeah, so new coilovers. Okay,
Yeah.
new coilovers on the Crest.
Do you even tuck, bro?
I do. I'm tucking. It's really helping with my landing gear. You know, I just got the wings detailed. Okay.
Yeah.
I put new turbos on the engine. I mean, the Razor Crest
full
is
paint correction, ceramic coat.
You know, they're saying that the
it's worth
Empire.
it.
Yeah, the Empire's going out of business, but the amount of Imperial credits I just spent on this thing.
Well, I mean, it's worth it. It's one of those things. If you do the paint protection,
Yeah.
no matter where you fly, like.
I mean, God
gonna-
forbid something happened to this vehicle. The insurance on this thing.
Love bugs are a real pain.
Listen, you know, I don't know if you know this, but I met up with this space gecko, and I took her to this planet. And when she did, she gave me 15% off my Crest insurance. And that's what gave me the money to do all these upgrades. I mean, I've got Sparko seats in the Crest now. I mean...
Sounds like a solid, wise investment.
Listen...
I mean, what's going to happen? It's not like...
Nothing.
You're not going to lose the car.
I'm going to have this Razor Crest until the end of time. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, this spaceship...
It's your forever ship.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. This is an investment.
Listen, I mean, not only that, but finally, you know, I got the windows redone. So the vacuum seal, the cockpit's really nice. It's really good.
I like that. No more spiders can get in.
A lot of money has been put in. Once again, this is my forever ship. Nothing's going to happen to it.
Yeah, now you're going to have this till you're old and frail.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession. Don't you agree?
Oh, yes.
I gotta add the
Whip
whip
it.
sound every time now.
Whip it good.
It's happening. What is up, everybody? It's your boy. It's Konkon. Hype again.
That's only because you finally got your graphics card. The
Dude,
war is over.
Listen, no, the war continues. Like the Mandalorian Civil War that has now been brought back to canon.
Yup. Well, technically, there was already a whole bunch of Civil Wars.
I mean, you're not wrong. Clone Wars, there was some other stuff. But the game that everybody has been playing this year has been the GPU 2020 game. It wasn't a fun game.
Hunt.
Yeah, it's not a fun game. It's kind of like Sudoku. It's like people play it, but they don't really know why, but they have to at the same time. That's kind of what's been going on. But yes, you are right. I did get my GPU.
It was a very big point of contention for you last week's episode. And
Yes.
it's over with.
It is over with. Now I'm trying to help other people get their GPUs.
The
But
missing
what
piece
is more important is sitting across from me, the man himself, the PR man, Justin Fett.
My name is Fett, and I'm alive.
Spoiler warnings right off the bat. If you have not seen Mandalorian Season 2, Chapter 14.
Also, episode
tragedy.
1. If you haven't seen episode 1, don't watch this.
Yeah, no. If you haven't seen any of the Mandalorian, we're going way back because this is a good episode because there are some theories that we had that came true.
We both had things we predicted come true this episode.
Yeah, some good things,
One
some wild things.
Big argument they maybe sadly put to rest.
It's not over. We refuse to let it die, unlike the Razor Crest, which seems to be dead.
Yes, the Razor Crest is dead.
A Razor Crest, the Razor Crest. I love how for things to be the, it has to be capital, and it's not, just pointing that out. And I don't even know grammar, but I know
That's just
that.
a title, yeah. Anything with a title or a name is capitalized.
I'm throwing it out there. Even Star Wars doesn't capitalize it. Just putting that out there.
Yes, it does.
No, it's Razor Crest is, but the isn't. That's my point. T is not capitalized. T.
They don't capitalize the Millennium Falcon.
T. They do.
Anyway, we'll get into this later.
Yeah, we're getting into it.
This is going to be our last bout.
Guys, housekeeping, of course. Thank you so much for joining us this week at Konkon's Cantina. We hope that last week you were able to visit our sponsor, Tatooine Trader Co. We do know that we made one sale for them.
Yes.
Thankfully, Clay, one of our Facebook members, he posted in the Facebook. He had heard on the episode. He wanted the link to the website. He made a purchase. I haven't talked to him since. I don't know what he got, but sent him the link. So that was cool.
Yeah.
You know, things already working for our sponsors, which is super exciting.
I really love their Good Soldiers Follow Orders shirt.
Yes.
Because it has it looks like the Goodwill logo.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like because I kind of feel like because of their vintage shirt game, he must frequent Goodwills looking for those awesome vintage shirts.
Yes.
Because it's too ironic to me. Like, he has this awesome Goodwill Star Wars shirt, and they have the sickest line of vintage Star Wars shirts that you can buy.
Housekeeping, of course, guys. youtube.com/Konkons Cantina. That is where you can get these episodes first and foremost. That is the fastest way to get it.
Your last chance to get in on our giveaway, because we are at
so close.
97.
97.
We need 3 more.
3 more subscription, guys. We have a giveaway going on the YouTube right now. Go to the YouTube, youtube.com/Konkons Cantina. You will see the giveaway video. Simply subscribe, and comment.
We might even be past 97. That was yesterday. I looked
That
at
was
we were
yesterday.
at 97.
Yeah, we're horrible. We need to keep track of where we're at. It might be at 100 now.
We might give it away at 102. I don't know.
105. Who knows? Facebook.com/Konkons Cantina. Instagram @Konkons Cantina, where we are most active. Twitter @Konkons Cantina. Of course, we have our Facebook group, which is always doing well. And the thing that has been popping the most.
Yes. Discord.
The Discord. Follow the link tree. linktr.ee/Konkons Cantina. That is how you will find
everything.
Yeah, it's our bio for everything.
Yep.
Yeah, and there you will find the invite for the Discord. How you can support this podcast, guys. We are mostly word of mouth, okay? So please share this with a friend that likes Star Wars.
Write a letter. We also can be written word of mouth.
Yeah, of course.
So if you would
Email.
like to write a pen and paper, write a letter to your closest kin.
People do that?
Send a letter.
Okay.
My dear neighbor.
We'll pay for the postage.
I'm coming to you because of this pandemic. I can't knock on your door. Can you please watch this podcast?
Yeah, listen.
Count your time. How many can you write? I mean, it's a good option.
I mean, it's a option. I don't know if it's a good option.
Listen, we are breaking the mold.
Listen, we got to bring the word to the people. And of course, we have our Patreon. Our $3 tier is simple support for the podcast,
our
guys.
Best human friends that we have.
The absolute best. We very much appreciate all of our Patreons, and we will be hearing from some our Pantinos.
Our paisanos.
Our paisanos. We will be hearing from some of them tonight. Please.
Our Cantina crew, as we like to call
them.
The
Cantina crew. Guys, please.
I just coined that term.
Rate this, even though we have it on a shirt already.
Yes, but that shirt never got released. So.
It didn't. Please rate this podcast, guys. 5 stars is what we seek, of course. That helps most with the Apple, iTunes, and podcast algorithm. The agenda of this episode, of course, is going to be the Mandalorian recap. Okay, guys.
Yes. This episode...
This is why you come here.
This episode has been super hype and exciting, and also some people are like very bleh about it, which I didn't expect.
Yeah, after the Mandalorian recap, we have the Cantina listening post, and then we'll be wrapping up with some news about the episode.
0 feedback on my comment. Thank you.
No, I'm getting to it right now. I was formulating the opinion. I didn't see as much negativity as I thought.
Mm-hmm.
When I watched the episode the first time, I loved it. The second time, you kind of start to notice some things.
Mm-hmm.
The third time, you're kind of like, and then the fourth time, but it's because you put this in a really good way. It's
as
like
I do. Yes, I do that a lot.
You do that. That's why you're on this podcast. It's like a labor of love type of thing. Like you bully and you make fun of the people that you love. The people that are closest to you. So when you love something, you're more critical of it.
Exactly.
And there were some things that we're going to simply bring out at the end of the episode, because we have 99 positive things to say and only 1 negative thing to say. But you got to have both sides. Both sides is fun.
Blind, yeah. It's like the parent who thinks their kid does no wrong. No,
yeah, exactly.
Everybody does wrong.
Yeah, no, you can't have that at all.
There can be some slip-ups, but it's still an overall amazing episode.
Yeah, no, you can't do that at all.
Yes, I cannot wait to get into the Cantina this week, I have to say.
We are a Cantina podcast, so we're going to go into the Cantina right now.
I paid Temuera Morrison for this intro.
Welcome to Konkon's Cantina.
Hey there, Boba.
What are you having?
Hey, Boba.
But remember, no droids.
Listen, this week I'm drinking something special.
Popping bottles.
Hang on. Hey.
In the club.
Oh, this looks so bad if you're watching this on YouTube.
Getting tipsy.
Listen, I have a bad thumb.
You have a thumb. A thumb-ish.
Dude, and it hurts to try to...
If nobody knows, Connor cut his thumb off on a table saw.
Yeah, I did.
Week before his wedding.
All of my wedding photos, my left hand is behind me because I had just gotten the sutures out. So yeah, I actually cut the tip of my thumb off. All right. There we go.
There she is.
Finally. Okay.
Nice bottle of Chianti.
Shout outs to the Dumb and Dumber episode we haven't done yet, but will. I am drinking. This is really sad. You cannot get this anymore.
Okay.
This was a limited edition, special release,
Holographic.
shadowless, strawberry sour from Trader Joe's. Okay.
It looks gorgeous, that color.
Should go ahead and just drink from that bottle real quick
Okay. I will.
and tell me that that is just not one of the most amazing things.
Strawberry sour ale made with natural flavors.
Listen,
by the
once again-
brewers of Petrus.
I'm going to show you guys this on the main camera so you can see these amazing colors.
Petravenge on Destiny. That's who made this. Connor is now standing away from the microphone, making a picture of his beers.
It keeps wanting to focus on you.
Because I'm handsome.
Yeah, you are. It still wants to. Anyway.
That was the most riveting audio of our podcast.
Yeah, it was. Dude, this stuff is... It's really good. And it's sad that you can't get it anymore.
Wow.
It's really good.
It's got like immediate sweet strawberry shortcake flavor and then finishes sour on the back end.
Super sour.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, so good. Unfortunately, once again, you cannot get it anymore. Keep eyes out at Trader Joe's. Maybe they're in other Trader Joe's. I know here in Orlando, we only have the 2 main locations in Central Florida, and I have not seen it since. This is my second to last bottle.
How long ago did you pick up this bottle?
I picked up probably... I bought 2 bottles at first. It was amazing. Immediately went back to Trader Joe's the next day. In your case, I went to Aldi's.
Don't bring it up.
The next day, I went back there, and I bought 9 bottles. I bought all they had. Okay.
That's a Belgium beer too. It's Petros beer.
And since then,
Bakiehooi, Belgium.
And since then, I have not seen it since. It does say on there that, you know, it's the, like it's a limited release. It's somewhere on here.
That is delicious.
5% alcohol. Wish it was a little bit higher.
Well, sours tend to always be lower ABV. They're more about the flavor than the alcohol.
For me, with my palate profile, what I like in sour beer, this is like a 8, 9.
Yeah, that's definitely the upper tier of a sour.
Super upper tier. For the Mando score now, okay? We got Mandos. They're down in the covert.
Mm-hmm.
They don't smell good. They keep on that armor. They're drinking this stuff. They love it.
Okay. Continue.
Some of them don't love it. And those that don't love it, for the Mando score, I have to say this is only a 6 out of 10.
I can see that for the Mando.
For the Mando score.
See, now we're
Personal
starting
score.
to develop, like, we're like, Mando score this.
This
but
is a meta.
personally-
Yeah, this is a meta
like,
score.
so deep.
Yes. Mando score, this is only like a 6. Personal, this is a solid 9. Like, it's crazy good.
That is a definite upper tier of a sour. And that's a sour I also think you could present to somebody who, like...
Doesn't like sours.
And they could get it. Like,
Yes.
you were like, oh, I can see why you like these.
Yep.
Because it's a complex flavor, but it's not a harsh, complex flavor.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm drinking something that is the first time I've had it. It's from a brewery that is a Florida brewery, but it's a little south. It's MIA, which is in Miami, if you can't tell by the name.
Oh, thank you. I thought it was missing in action.
They made one of my favorite hazy IPAs. Yeah, I heard you.
I cracked myself up.
That was iconic.
Okay. Icon.
Yes, that's why I said that.
Con. Yeah.
now we're going to go to pun joke.
Dude, did you see in the Facebook group today, they were talking about that new Netflix show about the girl that plays chess?
That show is so good.
Is it? Okay, we have it on our watch list.
It's so good.
And Justin, another Justin,
Uh-huh.
Justin 2. You're Justin
I'm
1.
the only real Justin.
Well, Justin 2 he says it has great reviews all across the board. I had to bring it up.
I like it.
Yeah.
You know what? You're worthy of my name. I approve.
There you go.
So I'm drinking from MIA. I was saying they used to, or they still make, it's from the band from the 90s, MIA.
Sting?
No, never mind.
Oh, okay.
I'm tangenting too much. They used to make a beer called Neon, and it was my favorite hazy IPA, and they stopped carrying it on draft everywhere because it was too inconsistent in the flavor. But that's where I got turned on to MIA. This is the Tourist Trap, and it's Trap with 2 P's and an E, like the Von Trapp family.
Like Trap House.
I took it as Von Trapp because it is a Belgian style triple ale.
I think it's a Molly reference.
Molly?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, continue.
So
you weren't getting the bit.
No, I wasn't following. That was now I'm lost my train of thought. Belgian triple ale.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yes, Belgian triple.
It's 10%er.
It's fantastic. I tried it before we started recording.
The cleanest Belgian triple I think I have ever tasted.
The thing about Belgian triples is you get, and we've talked about this before, if you're a longtime listener, we try to really explain our opinions, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We're not alcohol experts, but we drink a lot.
We know what we like.
Yeah, we know what we like, and we like to explain why we like those things to help people pick what they want and to help them find what they want. And Belgian triples are deep flavor and high alcohol content, which can lead to a sweet back end because of the high alcohol content. This is super smooth, super deep flavor, and it's a must find. And they distribute. Like, this should be something you can find.
Yeah, I found this at Total Wine, and I think it was, I want to say $12.99, $13.99 for a 6-pack. Nothing outrageous for a 6-pack. And that's a 10% beer, and you're getting 6 of them. And
yeah, that's average, like $2 a beer.
This is, yeah, so I'm saying, well, like some of the 4-packs are like $15 for a 4-pack.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a definite buy if you see this and you like a Belgian beer. Even if you like something a little more mild, like just like a Hefeweizen, a Belgian wheat, like a Blue Moon, something like that.
Yeah. Blue Moon, the first craft beer.
Yeah, the original craft beer, partnered with Sam Adams.
Yeah.
Jointly, they created the entire craft beer industry.
Yes.
If you didn't know, I can go into a full dissertation on that. But this Tourist Trap MIA beer, one of the cool things about MIA is everything they do is like a cool 90s vintage can, which is like one of my favorite styles that they have. Oh, that's not coming into focus. We're going to do the silent thing where we just try to take pictures of our beer on our audio podcast. But this beer,
she don't want to focus on you. Continue.
Is in the Mandalorian culvert. I don't think there's many Mandos that would not like this beer. I think it's got the right amount of alcohol and the right amount of flavor that if you carried a 6-packer of these bad boys in before you even set them down, somebody would be snapping one out of the 6-pack and taking it, and it wouldn't even make it to the cooler. I'm giving this a 10. This is my the best Belgian triple I've ever had.
I would agree. Unfortunately, I think that the score could possibly change because it's so good and you don't realize it's 10%. The next time it comes around, so some of the
next
Mandos...
time you go looking for the crest in the parking lot, it might not be there.
Yeah. Don't bring it up. At least I put all that money in it. I got it detailed, shined. It was really nice. Guys, we have something exciting, and I'm going to do this quickly.
I'm opening my second one of these, so I'm approaching 20%.
Listen, shout outs to Was It Good podcast.
Yes.
We won a giveaway of theirs. Now, let me
totally
say, guys.
Legit. We didn't even cheat to win this one.
Not even a little bit. Let me say, guys, I'm super impressed by not only...
We're opening it live if you can't tell by audio only. We're cutting it open.
Our audio bar patrons, they can't see. They're actually outside because of COVID. We couldn't let them inside. We're at capacity. We won their giveaway, and we got a Funko Pop.
Dibs.
I think I did tell you that you could have this one.
Now we'll put it on our shelf.
Oh, we do need to put it on the shelf. Super excited.
Queel.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm going to get this in on the camera.
And he's doing the same thing again. We're randomly holding it and waving it around in front of the camera, trying to find it to focus.
All right, it focused.
That one focused quick.
It did. Guys, thank you so much. Once again, guys, head over Instagram, Was It Good? We will link it down in the show notes. We sent them a little bit of our merch as well.
Give them a listen.
Yeah,
give them a download.
Yeah, and
give them a click.
Yeah, and they're doing giveaways too, just like we are, and it helps promote the podcast.
It's weird. They won our giveaway too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like,
here you go. Ironic.
No, that's not true.
Thank you guys. Very much appreciate that as well. Guys, once again, check these show notes. Be sure to give them some love.
Yes,
as
we're
going to
link them. We're going to link them directly in there so you can check out one of their
and their Instagram game is amazing. We gotta put some respect where respect is due. Like, their Instagram looks amazing. Like the time and effort that they're putting into it.
It's all themed out.
Yeah, high caliber social media stuff. Mandalorian Season 2, Chapter 14.
When I saw the name of this chapter, I was like, whoa, something's going to happen.
I saw this and almost immediately started crying. Let's just get this out of the way right now.
I was right.
Yes, I was right.
We were right.
We
Jointly,
were right.
We are geniuses.
We had some bold predictions, and we had written down some of our predictions, and this is something that we'll talk about in the Season 2 recap as a whole, which will come after the season finale.
Sam Witwer puppeteers Baby Yoda.
Not only that, he's also Frog Lady.
Mm-hmm.
He made a cameo in this episode. He's actually the Dark Trooper that picks up Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. He's
ruining it.
Well, he also came up with the name Grogu.
His name is Gogurt, sir.
Oh, Gogurt, my bad. The two, in all seriousness, the theories that we had. You said that
He's going to get kidnapped.
he's gonna get
He
kidnapped.
can't stay with our boy another season because it just will become too predictable and uninteresting.
Yeah.
I knew they had to get separated.
Something, either a death or, like you said, a separation, the kidnapping. And the kidnapping is what we got. The theory that I had in our first episode of Season 2 is that Boba was going to, in turn, now half of this theory was right. He was going to be a Creed Mandalorian where he also couldn't take off his helmet. That's why he didn't present himself to Cobb Vanth. That's why he didn't present himself to Mando.
Yes.
He needed to find a way to get his armor.
Yes.
Which wasn't entirely true, but the other part of it that was true was that Jango Fett was also a foundling. Now, Jaster Morales, which is the Mandalorian...
Which you developed your theory off of EU and kind of like figured out how it could fit into this new canon story.
They've brought so much from the EU, and they continue to bring so much of the EU, and there's a place in everybody for Star Wars, but for the people who are excluding all new Star Wars content because it's not the EU, really need to start broadening their horizons because they're bringing so much in.
Don't be so close-minded. You're missing out.
They're bringing a lot in. And this in particular was really cool because Jaster Morales, my theory was basically that because he didn't agree with Death Watch, that he's the one that kind of started like this whole cult thing. And
his colors are Boba's colors.
And his colors are, all that kind of stuff. And that he is the one that made Jango a foundling and all this stuff. Now, in EU, Jango had armor, then he was captured by the Republic, and then he was put in prison. He broke out. He gets the silver armor that we see in Attack of the Clones. The way that they changed this is that he was just simply given that armor by the Mandalorians. But he still states that Jango was a foundling. So this is spanning back an additional 30 years that this foundling adoption type thing is happening with the Mandalorians.
Saving of kids and whatnot.
Yeah, because if we get the span of how long the original trilogy comes in and then plus 5 years of where we're at now, this is a good span of time leading all the way back to, well, not only Attack of the Clones, before Attack of the Clones.
This was definitely going on in Clone Wars era.
Yeah,
like the animated show, not the Attack of the Clones movie.
Yeah, so super cool to kind of have like, these theories that we have. Didn't think that we were going to get to Tython so soon.
This show has... not hesitated.
Fast.
Yeah.
Fast. Super fast. Which hopefully doesn't lead to the show really only being 3 seasons. That would kind of make sense as to why the pace is picking up so much.
Yeah.
It does make sense. But let's just get into the recap. And of course, we're going to bring out some of these more of these theories that we have in tidbits. Directed by Robert Rodriguez and written by Jon Favreau.
So Robert Rodriguez, if you don't know,
huge rap sheet.
I did not recognize his name off the top of my head, but when I looked at his credits, he's got some good stuff. He is
look at how hazy this is gotten.
I know, it's like looking like thick, like with 2 C's.
Dang boy, he's thick.
That's thick with 2 C's.
Yeah, it is.
His rap sheet started with the first thing that popped out in my head were 2 different series of movies that he did. Sin City 1 and 2, he co-directed.
Yeah.
So he's got time in like a comic space, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I'd call it that.
And then the Once Upon a Time in Mexico trilogy, which is a whole amazing gunslinger trilogy with, if I remember right, Brad Pitt is in that.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but those are the 2 movies that I stood out in my head. He doesn't have the massivest is not a word. The most massive late newer movies. He's not like done a whole lot lately.
Uh-huh.
But what he's done has been solid, and he's one of the best friends of Quentin Tarantino, which, if you see in Tarantino movie, the action is going to be good, and the complexity of the movie is going to be good, and the world building is going to be good. And that's his best friend that they like to direct together. So it had a lot going for it that I didn't expect.
Yeah.
By knowing who it was.
And initial reactions for me were sadness right off the bat.
You talking about before you saw it, or
no,
post
like
seeing the
like
movie?
post scene initial reactions? Super sad, anxious, really genuinely disappointed. Like actually affected the mood of my day
that the crest
is destroyed. Seriously,
yeah.
Like it's so
he finally got it in good shape and back up and running, and then
it's crazy.
Blammo.
It's crazy to think like. Obviously, you know, we take Star Wars seriously. We love Star Wars. Like, it's a part of our lives. If you were to tell me, like, the thing that's going to affect you the most is the destruction of a ship, I'd be like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And when it blows up, I was just... It literally affected my whole day. So this episode for me had just
the
ups
crest
and
has
downs.
gone through so much. Like, you've kind of, like, fell for this ship because it's like... You see an amazing flying dogfight scene, then you see it get beaten to crap, and then you see it getting literally tied together with rope and then fixed, and it's finally back, and then not even a full episode, and it's blown to smithereens.
Yeah, it's really disheartening. But Jon Favreau wrote this episode, and we will get into the recap.
Master storyteller.
We're going to get into it right now. Mando flies towards Tython. Mando is amused.
Bright and shiny crest, first thing you see.
Don't bring it up.
Glimmering.
Don't bring it up. Mando is amused by Grogu alerting to his name. Super cute moment here.
He purrs like...
Yeah. Yeah, he keeps doing... Yeah, and yeah. Super father-son moment.
Eh?
Din takes Grogu's favorite shifting knob in hopes of him using the Force to take it back. Dank Ferrick... Mando exclaims.
I love that now that we've like identified that he uses this weird term.
We
like
just
it's like oh
thing.
my god, it's constant. We just never picked up on it.
Never. Quote, "Hey, no, I'm not mad at you. You did good. When the nice lady said you had training, you're a very special kid. We're gonna find you a place that you belong. And they're gonna take real good care of you."
I love that he like calls her when the nice lady.
Yeah,
it's like you're talking to your kid about like some stranger they met and they don't know who it is. Like, no, the nice lady said here. Like it's so like such a weird real life moment between like a kid and a father.
It's cool too because this is like he calls Ahsoka the nice lady. He doesn't say the Jedi.
Yeah,
like if he would have said the Jedi. Fandom would have been in an uproar. I am no Jedi. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a nice touch of like, it's not. She's nice in the sense that she is helping Mando on the quest.
Mm-hmm. She's obviously a Force user, like Gogurt is a Force user.
Gogurt, full Force user. Do we wish that she would have gotten in the crest and went to Tython?
Well, after what happened, I wish he would have.
Exactly. You know, it probably would have helped a little bit.
I also like that, like Mando can't get enough of watching his kid like use his talent.
Yeah.
Like you see like a kid who like learns an instrument at a young age. Like the parent never gets tired of like watching them play a song. Like it's like do the thing. Like,
unless you're a kid that plays trumpet and all you can play is the Saints Come Marching Home. Then it gets old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all he can kind of do is take the metal ball.
I don't know. He does a lot at the end of this episode. We're gonna get to it. Flying in, Mando sees the scene rock that is meant for Grogu.
I like that they jetpack in too.
And he lands in an open field, jetpacks his way to the top. Quote, "Sorry, buddy, I can't land on top. Too small. Looks like we're going to have to travel the last stretch with the windows down." End quote. It was like so perfect. Mm-hmm. And then he's...
Full dog out of the car with his mouth open moment.
Yeah, Gogurt is loving it. He's wooing again. He's doing like, you know, the roller coaster hand thing like he does. It's fantastic. Mando lands on top of the mountain that Ahsoka explained to him. Mando places Grogu on the scene rock.
Can we talk about how easy they found Tython? So
Okay.
this is a little bit of a misstep that we spoke about in our last episode.
Don't rope me into this.
Well, I was under the same impression.
Okay.
I was under the same impression.
I couldn't remember.
That Tython is a known. I should say it's known. It's known to
It's
me.
known to Star Wars
It's known
fans.
to Star Wars fans that
Yes.
it's where the first Jedi Temple is.
Yes.
I also thought it was known in the universe itself, and it's not necessarily. And Jordan was saying it was in, what was his term, an inner core world?
He said inner core world, and unfortunately that is not true.
It is a deep core
It is
world,
a deep core world.
which is not necessarily easy to find.
Inner core, and there could be other explanations for this, but Magistrate, one of our Discord users, Russell, he made a good point, is that you're not supposed to be able to find Tython, and there's still some EU stuff that we're working through, and this could be an explanation of like, oh, Tython's a barren planet, it's not important anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because the Empire destroyed everything, like we don't know. But in the extended universe, this was a hard to find planet. There were no space routes to it. The hyperlanes had all collapsed around it. Like you couldn't.
There was a whole thing with Darth Bane finding Tython.
Yeah, like you couldn't just get there. Yeah, and in the Darth Bane books, exactly, he gets there. And the other thing is, I was really hoping that we got an explanation of the moons. So the reason why Tython is so important is before the Jedi or the Sith, you had the Jedi, which were the first like Force sentient species.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole very long explanation that we're not going to get into. There's plenty of other YouTube videos and people that can explain it way better and more colorful than I can. But basically, this was the core world where people came from all species. Okay, the like kind of like the Eternals that you see in the Mortis arc. Like these Force beings, they took all these Force-sensitive people from all over the universe. They brought them to Tython, and on Tython, they were to learn the Force and learn how to interact with the all the creatures of the planet. They learned why the Force binds and brings the universe together.
Which goes along to why that Jedi Temple was very Stonehenge-y, rudimentary,
yeah.
But it was very simple. It was like some stones kind of propped up, and then the Seeing Stone in the middle, whereas later, I mean, in every other Jedi temple that we see, it's normally like some type of a structure. There might not be much revealed from like planet side that you look at, but there's something you open through the Force, and there's like a massive complex inside of it. This is like very simplistic. It was a Stonehenge-esque rock monument with the Seeing Stone in the middle of it.
This was, I had to think logical for this one, because when you think of Yavin was actually a Sith temple, but it was a massive structure. And when you look at extended universe comics and extended universe graphic novels, Tython is also pictured in this way where the Jedi Temple is very massive and Aztecian, if that's the word, Aztec-ish, whatever you want to say. Very big pyramid style. And
not Egyptian, but like Mexican Aztec.
Exactly.
Style. Yeah, like.
And I was hoping to see that pavilion style look.
Yes,
and like you said, this was more Stonehenge-y. And once again, this is I think this is one of the first times that they shot on set. This obviously wasn't done
not in the volume
at all.
This was on location.
Yeah, and we
shooting
noticed
outside.
And we noticed that through lens flares and other things. And there's just things that couldn't have ideally been done, but that was a not like a huge letdown, but a little bit of disappointment. Wanted to see more of a.
Yeah, I mean, for me too, it was. I found it funny that when Din sets Grogu down onto the stone, he goes, "Are you seeing anything?" Like that. Like
do you see them or do they see you? Like dude has no idea.
Stupid gimmicky joke. Like it got me. It's like,
yeah.
Here's the Seeing Stone. Are you seeing anything?
Yeah. He's like, look, Ahsoka told me that if I brought you here, you do the rest. Like do your thing, kid. Like magic hands. Do the magic hands.
Din kind of is a dodo this episode. I'm gonna throw that out there early.
We're not surprised, though, because Din has been naive. Din has been... He hasn't always made the smartest choice first.
His sheltered upbringing in the clan that he is in is slowly making itself more manifest as seasons
if
are
anything,
progressing.
at least it's consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, not in a bad way. Not us picking apart the show.
No,
by
I
any
think
means.
that it's not a negative. I think that that's a positive.
It's character building.
I think it's character building into his culvert, which is super small and niche.
Yeah.
That is not necessarily. They're not ignoring the open world, but they're so tight into their way of thinking that they don't realize a lot of the stuff going around, which this plays in as the episode will continue.
Mando is confused as Grogu is trying to grab butterflies as he sits upon the Scene Stone. Then a ship flies overhead. A very similar sound is heard.
The best sound.
The Slave One. As Mando rushes down to get harm's way away from Grogu, he starts a meditation cycle of sorts. A giant blue beam of force energy is projected into the sky. Mandalorian rushes to meet the newcomers.
Before that goes in, if you notice, as Boba's ship, like once it surpasses, you hear the sound, and then it cuts to the skyline, and you see Slave One come in. The first time that you hear this is Boba's theme for this show, which I don't know if you picked up on.
The second time,
it's this didgeridoo Australian outback sound.
New Zealand.
But it's a didgeridoo that they're using, which is an Australian outback instrument, and it is so cool. I love the way Star Wars has continued to give characters themes, so that they can play a song and you know who it's about. They could be talking about somebody and they play something and you know they're referencing. Like it's so meta, like the way they can do that, and they're continuing that in this show with like the weird techno sound for the child. We got this weird Australian outback didgeridoo sound whenever now Boba comes in. I just hope they keep sending it with this. The music in this has just been amazing.
Ludwig is absolutely killing it.
And then our boy Din with the first dodo thrown away from the Force beam.
Knocked
out.
He well, not knocked out yet.
Okay, that was later.
Yeah, he rushes down to meet Boba, and as soon as he walks away, that's when that's when his beam starts. Of course, the second he looks away.
He's like, whoa!
Yeah. He rushes down and he hides behind a rock after laser fire cuts in front of him. Quote, "I've been tracking you, Mandalorian. Are you a Jedi or are you after the child?" Boba Fett walks forward, explaining that he is there for the armor that Mandalorian has took from Cobb Vanth. "Are you Mandalorian?" Mando exclaims. Possibly the best quote from the entire show.
I was waiting for you to get to this because I'm so excited about this quote.
Quote, "I'm a simple man making his way through the galaxy, like my father before me."
This is the most freaking meta complex quote.
If anybody says this is too much fan service, get the heck out of here.
Oh my god.
Because
he literally quoted Django.
No, he quoted himself. They're the same. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. He quoted Django.
And he quoted Luke with, like, my father before me.
Yeah.
Talking about Vader.
Yeah. I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
But I'll take it. Yeah,
like
it's
the
a Star
end
Wars.
The end of it is Luke quoting about, like, I'm a Jedi, like my father before me.
I'll take it. Either way, complete callback to Attack of the Clones, Episode 2, when Obi-Wan first meets Jango Fett, talks to him about the events that have happened on Coruscant, and then, of course, we get the amazing, one of my favorite scenes with Jango, and he goes, "Boba, den soy," and he tells him, go shut the doors, don't let this dude see my armor, he's gonna know it's me.
Yeah, he like kicks it with his feet.
He goes over, shuts the door, and just seals the door. It's great. Total callback. Loved it. Mandalorian then again bringing up his creed. Boba says that his armor was his father's before his. Boba also has a sharpshooter on top of the ridge, and it is a recurring person that we know, a returning character, someone that we knew.
Everybody predicted this is who walked up on her. Was it at Chapter 5 or 6?
Chapter 5, Gunslinger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody thought that this is who's the Spurs gave it away.
Yeah. And now we see the cape. Like we kind of said, like the cape wasn't too long too long.
What's funny is I looked back at that episode after we watched Chapter 13 or Chapter 13, 14. Chapter 9.
Okay.
So after Chapter 9 came out and you saw Cobb Vanth and
because we were like, it's got to be Cobb.
At the very end of it, you see the glimpse of Boba standing on the horizon, and he's got the gaffy stick on his back, blah blah blah. if I went back and I watched the Gunslinger episode, and everybody said, "Oh, it had to be Cobb. It had to be Cobb," and I'm like, "No, that wasn't Cobb that walks up on Fennec, because nothing about the feet, the boot, the spurs, like the whole thing that you can see was correct. Now you can see Boba, and what he wears, it was 100% Boba, which is awesome."
Mando lays down his weapons. Boba says, quote, "There is no need for bloodshed." After they all put down their weapons, Fennec explains how Boba saved her. The bounty on Grogu has gone through the roof.
Our Din puts his backpack down, or his jetpack down.
Puts it down.
Like a dodo.
I get, like, I like the logic behind this, right? Like, air superiority will win a battlefield.
High ground always wins.
Yeah, so him having the ability to fly around...
We'll put our guns down. You put the jetpack down.
Yeah,
keep all your weapons on you.
Whistling Bird's not worried. Cool blaster that is an unnamed model and manufacturer. Did that just go over your head?
No, I'm ignoring it.
Oh, okay. Cool blaster, not worried about it. All that stuff, we're not worried. Just get rid of the jetpack. Everybody wants his jetpack.
Yeah, and we've already established at this point all he has to do is press a button on his wrist and it comes to him.
Oh, and we're going to get to that. Oh, are we going to get to that? After putting down his jetpack, Boba offers the safety of him and the child for his Mandalorian armor. A ship once again flies overhead. Mando rushes to grab Grogu.
And when we kind of skipped over Fennec is the sharpshooter.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I said Fennec, but yeah. So she comes down, and she's standing before him.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Yeah, and he's like, "You were dead," and we have that amazing line of Boba saying, "Some things save the wretched," like kind of putting them both in the same camp of being bad people.
And they were found dead in Tatooine in the desert, and somebody found them. And she pulls her little cover over her belly off and reveals like full cyborg guts, which is an awesome reference.
Yes.
Which you brought out when we were watching it for, I think, the 4th time.
Yeah.
That this was a super awesome callback to our favorite book.
Yes. Favorite Star Wars book currently is Lost Stars.
Lost Stars.
And spoiler warning for Lost Stars.
Ciena. Oh, yeah. That is,
super spoiler warning.
Towards I would say, like the last quarter of the book, there is a TIE fighter crash. She has a giant piece of metal impaled into her stomach. And
it almost cuts her in half.
She takes, I think it was like 8 months or a year in recovery. And she has back to therapy and cyborg parts. Basically, it doesn't say it specifically, but you can kind of figure out.
He says the other... one of the other main characters says there are certain things that they can't recreate, like the liver and all that stuff, and they have to recreate that with Bacta, and that just takes time. And it was just cool to see, she reveals this stomach area where all these things are working. Maybe they're pumps.
Because gut wounds are always like the hardest to treat. Gut wounds.
Me and you both went through EMT school, and the crazy thing about EMT is like the one thing that you never mess around with is gut pain. Like, gut pain can be very serious because there's so many vital organs there.
Yeah.
So to see her get shot there is just super cool callback to a canon Star Wars book that we both love.
And now you have a literal visual representation of what could have happened in that book.
Yeah. Super, super cool. He is pushed away by the blue force surrounding the child.
For the second time.
Dodo
keeps dying. This is when I first realized, like, are we getting Dodo Din this episode?
Yeah.
Sometimes he's fire, sometimes he's a little slow.
Yeah. I was the joke that you made in Facebook about Rochelle.
I don't remember which. Oh.
He's like, gotta be patient with Rochelle, okay?
Shout out to my sister who had surgery today. I'm gonna make fun of her now.
Yes, listen, she's recovering. We can make fun now, okay?
Rochelle, who posted that?
Your sister.
Oh no, Matt posted. Camping Comedian posted like,
what's something that your dad taught you? Yeah.
And Rochelle, my sister, posts, "My dad taught me to always be patient and do your best." So my immediate response is, it's like, that's funny. Dad always taught me, be patient. Your sister is doing her best.
It gets me every time, man. If you're not in the Facebook group or the Discord, guys, come on. We got a good community going. Get in there. Once
She's
again,
safe. I can make jokes. She's safe.
yeah, she's good. Rochelle Anders, we're happy that you guys are doing well.
Recover well, sister. I love you.
Back to the recap. Boba and Fennec rush down the mountain to face the Empire that has now landed on Tython. They also have found Tython, which is obviously because of the tracker on the Razor Crest. One by one, they snipe incoming troopers, almost like a Saving Private Ryan scene, a rushing Normandy beach.
Mm-hmm.
This episode, or this scene, at first I liked it. On multiple watchings, I felt like it fell a little flat. And once again, I think
started
this is just
to look a little fan filmy,
and I just think that this is because they're shooting outside of the volume for the first time.
I think just like you're saying, like one of the scenes, like when Fennec is running across the top of the peak of these rocks, it's those obvious blast effects that you see where it's just like sparks.
The Power Rangers?
Yeah, like
it literally was a Power Rangers fighting scene.
And then they add like a blaster bolt afterwards, but it's like these like big fireworky spark explosions that they use, which is supposed to be the blaster fire happening.
Yeah.
And it's just a little over the top. And the entire time Fennec and Boba are crushing. Our boy is just unconscious.
Oh yeah, my dude's he's completely knocked out. Once again, it's kind of like how when you said like in the Bo-Katan episode, like he walks into the ship and he's like, ooh, ooh, like he doesn't know where he's going. It's kind of like the same thing. More people are taking the spotlight, which is a good thing.
At this point, he's completely unconscious.
Yeah,
he's like up by Gogurt, and he's knocked out by the second time trying to get into the force beam.
Shoutouts to Frozen Gogurt, such a great snack. But yeah, they're absolutely killing it. But
I loved seeing a gaffy stick in use.
Yeah, okay, and we're gonna get into that right now. Boba awaits his enemies to close in on him. Using his ears, of course, he listens to the footsteps of the incoming stormtroopers. Using his gaffy stick, he takes them down in a violent fashion. This
armor-esque. The armor, like with the hammer,
yes,
was immediately what I was called back to thinking about.
Okay, my first thought was Rogue One. Donnie Wu.
Oh, Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen, sorry.
Yeah.
Donnie Yen with the staff
on
Jeddah. Too. Same type of very violent. We see like the armor shattering.
Yeah. And we even get we see the still of that stormtrooper with its helmet just like crushed, obliterated.
And you get, like the funny, every time somebody falls in Family Guy, they're like, their legs are, they're like all in different ways. Okay, it wasn't funny in Family Guy.
It was funny in Family Guy.
It wasn't. It was funny like the first 3 Oz, and then after that it's like, listen, I have things to do with my life.
But the 14th Awe, it became funny again.
They're all like discombobulated,
yes.
And that's like how the stormtroopers were. It was just like this has to be the most violent Star Wars has ever been.
Yeah, and I loved the fact of seeing a gaffy stick in action because previously you see a sand person like like chant, like pumping it above their head.
Yeah,
but you never really knew like what the heck is the point of this thing. It looks like they're
just holding it. Or
like is this a walking stick?
Are they blind? Like
you didn't really figure out like, is this a weapon or is this something for traversing the desert?
Yeah.
And Boba like nah, bro, this is a weapon. It's like a spear on one end. It's got a hook on the other end for disarming people. Like he shows you how freaking cool of a weapon it actually was, which was like so like canon building for me because it's something you've seen since the original very first Star Wars content ever.
Within the first 30 minutes of Star Wars, we see the gaffy stick.
Yeah, but it's never been used. As far as I can remember, like I've never seen one actually be used. It's always like a prop.
We see the first Tusken that attacks Luke.
Yeah,
he's trying to hit him and Luke's like rolling out of the way.
Kind of like El Kabong style. Like
kind of like bonk you on the head.
Yeah.
This was like you said, the spear end is getting just thrusted through stormtroopers. We also have the blunt end with the spike just tearing through the breathing apparatus of stormtroopers. I mean, it was crazy, super crazy. Advancing stormtroopers are taken down once again by
New
Fennec.
troopers.
Troopers.
I
more.
named him the Mortar Trooper.
A trooper clad in yellow trim starts firing mortars.
Because in the
haven't seen the yellow
red trim in the end,
Yes.
he was dubbed an Incinerator Trooper.
I don't know why I keep messing with my mic. It's bothering me.
So
the
because he's
Incinerator
dubbed
Trooper.
an Incinerator Trooper,
Yeah.
I dubbed this guy Mortar Trooper. Watch the Black Series come out, see if I'm going to be right. Because I know they're going to have to make a Mortar Trooper now.
Now
Because
Hasbro,
he's also got the officer's shoulder pauldron as well. So he was an officer.
now Hasbro has more figures to mess up.
Yep.
Yeah. Fennec hurls a giant rock towards the troopers below her.
Indiana Jones callback.
Indiana Jones, Mulan. This to me, this was a Huns.
I took
that was the first thing that I got.
100% Lucasfilm.
Well,
Indiana
both.
Jones.
Temple of Doom, for sure.
Yeah.
Rock hurtling towards them. To me, this was also like if you think about it, with the offset of the rock was because of the mortar. Mulan uses the rocket,
knocked
like
a chunk of it.
Yeah, I love Mulan. That's what I got.
Let's get down to business.
Let's get. Oh man, I almost.
Oh yeah, I gotta release that for our. Thank you for the reminder.
It's on SoundCloud.
To our patrons,
Uh-huh.
who if you're a patron, please shoot me a message and email. I last week made it into a ringtone.
Yeah, you did.
Call my. Oh, do you have your phone with you? You should call my phone right now, and I'll let it play.
We'll do it later.
Okay, it's literally Connor's contact now. Whenever he calls me. So if you want the ringtone,
I'm not even mad. I think I did a pretty good job. We need to full send it and record it.
If nobody remembers, I spent 4 hours chopping that up and making it fit perfectly into the music. So if you want that ringtone, get at me 99 cents. Unless you're a patron. It's free.
Boba flanks from the rear once again with the gaffy stick, absolutely slaying troopers one by one. Looking over his shoulder, he sees the crest, and he lusts for his famous armor.
Sees that door open.
Okay, and you pointed something out. Back to our Razor Crest argument.
Oh yeah, this is when it went to this.
This is so cool. So the whole ship is silver, gunmetal, if you will. And what do we kind of see over the door?
I've always noticed. Sorry, I had to burp this Belgian. Wow.
It's getting you.
There is a yellow design on the side of the hull.
Yes.
I never really paid much attention to it, but this is one of the first times the ship has been in its hole and not beaten to crap.
Yep.
And it's a perfect landed side profile. That yellow makes a big R. 100%.
And it's so
it's kind
cool.
of Star Wars-y fonty.
Yeah.
But it's a big R.
It's great to finally see the manufacturer's icon that they put on all their vehicles.
Like when you name a boat.
So Razor Crest?
Like when you name a boat and you put the graphic of the name of the boat on the back of it because you named it that.
I love how this is going to come to an end real quick here in seconds.
Don't bring it up.
Don't bring it up. Oh, man. Okay.
But yeah, so
Yes.
there's a big R on the side of the
It looks like an
crest.
R, for sure.
Yeah.
Yellow R for Razor Crest.
A stylized R.
Yeah. I don't think it's a coincidence. It definitely looks like an R in any sort of argument. Fennec, once again, is surrounded by stormtroopers. Mando jumps in and proceeds to take all the shots with his Beskar
hold on.
armor.
We missed the part.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I skipped ahead.
Yes, you skipped some stuff.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, that's what happened. Sorry, I scrolled up. Okay. Looking
Crest is
over,
open.
yeah, the crest is open.
Boba
Okay.
goes into the crest.
Fennec once again displays her skills by shooting troopers one by one. She kind of does that fadeaway jumper. She jumps off the rock. So I did like that. I did think that was cool.
Which directly after that, I randomly paused it because I got a work call in the middle of watching this. And there is directly after that a scene where her gun is a rubber gun because she's holding it and the whole scope is folded over and diagonal sideways.
The scope was not holding on as well as it should.
You could definitely see. This is kind of what we were talking about where it seems a little fan filmy at this point.
Yes, but at the same time, there's a budget discussion that we just have no idea what it entails.
Yeah,
if we're gonna pick out a negative, we have to spin a positive, and that positive is that could have been the best shot that they got. and
They could have tried that.
yeah, it's like Gene Guy, right? Rip to Gene Guy, by the way.
Bring back Gene Guy. They should have left him and just lean into it.
Bring back Gene's guy, okay?
Write a backstory, just like when they realized that the guy is running with an ice cream maker.
He had just clocked out of work.
The Cantono, and now it's like a full thing that they've leaned into. They should have leaned into Gene Guy.
Listen, he clocked out of work, okay? He was done for the day. He took off his lab coat. He was done making Snoke clones. There's a whole thing for it, okay? Grogu finishes his meditation. Before that, Mando finally wakes up. Finally, my dude has taken the longest standing siesta.
He's a little slothy.
Okay,
come on.
Hey, you guys! Starts running down the mountain. Listen. Okay,
yeah, I'm just looking at you.
Listen,
like,
Mando wakes up and sees the battle ensuing. He quickly realizes that he cannot take Grogu from this meditative state, so he decides to fight and protect the child instead. Grogu, of course.
First of all, he runs. He doesn't get his backpack.
Oh,
jetpack.
You mean the couple of buttons that he has to press on his wrist to make it come back?
Established this season.
In the first episode. It's weird. Was that in the first 10 minutes?
Yeah, it was like in the first 10, 5 minutes even.
Okay, my bad. I didn't realize that was the thing. Oh, we'll go back to that though. That can't be a major detail or anything.
So he sprints like a dingus down the mountain.
He can fly.
No, he can't.
Well, I think he flew in the beginning of this episode.
Well, don't think about that part.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
That was a long time ago. Is
in a galaxy far, far away?
At least 15 minutes before this.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Just making sure we were on the same page. He rushes down the mountain once he decides to protect the child. Of course, the second he looks away, Grogu has finished his meditation. As Fennec is surrounded by stormtroopers, Mando jumps in and starts to absorb the shots of two platoons.
As he yells, "Hey, you guys!"
Dude, he jumps in.
Stands in front of everything and just takes every shot.
Okay. We said that we were going to bring out like what we felt. Okay. We both we love the show. We have a podcast about the show, but you can't ignore things that are blaringly obvious.
And they go against what they already established.
Yeah. This was a weird scene because Mando specifically says, "Okay, let's advance forward." There's like 25 stormtroopers around you. No, let's advance backward. Like
let's retreat.
Let's retreat. Let's get back to Boba. And then of course, instead of we're advancing forward. What are we advancing forward to? He didn't say let's get to the crest. Let's get to y'all's ship. Let's get to, I don't know, a bigger rock. He says let's advance forward. It didn't make a lot of sense.
And they're all conveniently shooting him in the specific Beskar pieces.
Once again,
other soft goods that he has on him.
Once again, it is convenient. It is plot armor. I understand plot armor. I get it. It looks a little clunky when you have, Sloth wanting his baby Ruth, and he's just doing this the whole time, getting hit by, E11 blasters. It was weird.
It was an odd choice of for that battle to play out.
Okay, tell me this. Could it have been better if Fennec is okay, I'm done. She puts down the blaster, then Boba comes in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
saves the day.
All up to this point, Boba is we saw him with the gaffy stick. That's it. He glances at the Razor Crest. That's it.
Yeah.
Then we get this weird, odd choice of a moment, and then we hear the same music. Those didgeridoos come in, and our boy, the OG Mandalorian, the originator, none greater, Boba Fett.
There's no one no greater. As thermal detonators rain from the sky, Boba Fett lands in his armor and proceeds to clean house. The debate is over.
I love when his land and he just gives that
he just looks
the down diagonal
yeah,
it's me. I'm back. We back.
The debate is over. You can no longer say that Boba is an overrated character.
Boba would never scream like that when Luke hit his jetpack.
Listen, that was old Boba. This is new Boba. Okay.
I was just thinking about the scream that they gave him.
They do give him the Willem scream kind of thing. Yeah, they do kind of do that.
He looks so good as Fat Boba.
Dude, It's not. We see. I said fat Boba. We established this is old man Boba.
Yeah,
this
it's
isn't
like-
fat Boba. This
is spotchka belly Boba.
Listen, you got to drink something on Tatooine, okay? And just because you're drinking the blue milk of a bantha, yes, I'm coining and canonizing that's where blue milk comes from, okay?
From Banthas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big-lipped banthas.
Big old Bantha lips.
Big old bantha. Look for the shirt coming. Listen, he's been drinking that blue milk, getting the belly, and he's still slaying it. There are so many things about this scene in particular that I don't want to say save the episode. I shouldn't say that.
Yes.
Make this episode better.
This was
He
fan
kills
service
it.
in a way
At its finest.
because like Boba has always been like you liked Boba and
Of course.
he had a mystery and an air to him.
Yeah.
But he never really did anything previously.
Unfortunately.
In the movies, he never did anything.
Yes.
He did some standing, he did some look intimidating things, and then Luke bonked him on the jetpack and fired him into a Sarlacc pit, and that was it.
We had some really, really
Or Han,
good
whatever.
We had some really, really good EU stuff with Boba.
Yes. Well, I'm talking about film.
Yeah,
like,
film.
Yeah.
There's always the and even I've said it. I was never a huge Mandalorians are my favorite part of Star Wars.
But
Boba is not what got me into Mandalorians.
And I am the opposite, where Boba he was the guy that roped me in.
Yeah.
And
He's the space cowboy besides Han.
Yeah.
Like him and Han, just like you said, in the EU books you have the constant
like,
Han
yeah,
and Boba
the
battle.
two of them are like arch nemesis.
Yeah.
But
This-
it was awesome to see him portrayed in like such a way that like fully confirmed what you thought he should be like.
Yeah.
And also in the background, if you notice, Din is crouching around like a freaking dodo. Dingus doesn't do anything. If there's a scene, he's literally in the background, like he's like holding a gun and just like pivoting left, pivot right, pivot left, pivot right, pivot left,
Yeah.
pivot right,
But
doing nothing.
At least Boba is kicking ass.
Boba is crushing.
I'm sorry,
it.
I got to say it.
You get to see
he is-
every piece of his arsenal in use.
Every single piece. Now,
Except the flamethrower. We didn't see the flamethrower.
we didn't see the flamethrower, but maybe there's no more petrol in there, man.
Cobb
you know.
used his flamethrower.
Did
didn't
he?
he?
No.
Am I not remembering?
Anyway, he uses the double cannon blaster
It's like a
on his
shot-
left.
I imagine in my head it's a shotgun.
Something we get my favorite part, which was the kneecap
The
rifle.
knee armor.
The
Yep.
knee armor, which had the barrels on it. There were so many parts and shout outs to Chris from the FOMOcast, who we're going to hear later in our caller part of the episode, is the point that he brought out is Boba on multiple occasions is basically saying, like, this is my armor.
Mm-hmm.
And Mando doesn't believe him. But yet, we see not only a audio visual storytelling where he's like, this is my armor.
Mm-hmm.
He is showing Mando, this is my armor.
Every intimate piece and
Yeah.
use of this armor.
And he
is-
understands it.
Yeah.
And it completely transforms the character from a savage type of killing monster to a not technical, but an efficient. He's more efficient. He is just dispatching these stormtroopers how he knows. We even get like Jon Favreau. Don't care. Oh yeah, this was the
Like
Iron Man. Yes,
charge up blast in the guy's gut.
dude. He grabs the stormtrooper, puts him in a noogie headlock. Okay, rubs him on the helmet, and then puts his arm and just shotgun blasts him. Whatever, and it was such a.
It had the Iron Man
sound.
like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was super cool. You can no longer say he's overrated.
Nope.
He slays the scene. Absolutely slays the scene. Super
Mando.
cool. Yeah. Boba Fett absolutely killed it. The stormtroopers, back to the recap, start to retreat. Using his rangefinder, Boba locks onto the ship on the left to deliver the final blow. The rocket hits the ship on the right, sending them both into each other and crashing them to the surface of Tython. Mando walks up to Boba. Nice shot. What does he say?
Like, I was aiming for the other one.
I was aiming for the other one. His accent is just, I love it.
Yeah.
And he's the dad from Moana, if you didn't know. If you've seen Moana, Disney's Moana, it's so cool this whole fight scene, everything with Temuera Morrison, and I'm forgetting the name, but there's the ancient dance right? With
the Samoan dance.
the Samoan dance, the
battle,
the warrior. You know, you've seen it a million times. They slap their thighs. They're doing the poses. Like, this was, to me, this seemed like a direct correlation to Temuera Morrison, who he is with his lineage and all that stuff, who he is as a person, that all he was missing was like the tongue sticking out of his mouth.
Chomping on your tongue.
Yeah, it was super, super cool. And it was nice also to get some comic relief right here where he was like, you know, I was aiming for the other one. Yeah, I was aiming for the other one. And
it's like he was so efficient and like specific in how he took everybody out. And then like you get to see him, because we had never seen Boba use his missile in his backpack.
Yeah.
Until, like, we saw Cobb use it.
Yeah, we saw Cobb do it.
But it was like another oh crap, we finally get to see Boba do it. And he's like, I was aiming for the other one.
Once again, both come crashing to the surface of Tython.
I know, I love that. He like shot the one which crashed into the other and took them both out, which I was like, how's he going to take these guys out with one missile?
And we've seen these transport ships before. These are the same transport ships from Rise of Skywalker that the First Order uses. So we're already kind of seeing, once again, more correlation to the sequel trilogy, once again being brought into new canon in a sense of like new storytelling type of stuff, at least predating it to what we've seen in the sequel trilogy. A red turbo laser. I'm gonna try not to cry as I read this part of the recap. A red turbo laser cuts through the clouds, hitting and completely destroying the Razor Crest. Mando lurches forward, realizing that the true love of his life, his baby, has been destroyed.
I could feel his pain through his helmet. It was like, what?
This really, really hurt. Why is every ship in Star Wars the coolest, but why is the Razor Crest the coolest? There's so many things about the Razor Crest. It's acrobatic like it shouldn't be. It has the air brakes. It's a gunship. It's a transport ship.
The chromy metal color of it that matches his armor.
It's somewhere between a Falcon and a Ghost, but smaller. And it's particular.
It's weird. Those are both names of ships. That's weird.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird that they also have it named manufacturers, and the Razor Crest doesn't. Because it's Razor Crest.
M111.
No, that's the model name.
It is the Razor Crest.
No.
Discuss in Discord.
Discuss in Discord. Listen, it's an end of an era, Justin.
It is.
We've been talking
Our
about...
argument is pointless.
It is well, it's not. And you know why.
I think...
No.
I know why. Why do you say why?
Because we posted this picture in Discord earlier this week. In The Force Awakens.
Oh, yeah.
When Han, Finn, and Rey land on Takodana to see Maz on her castle, in the foreground there is a red ship that cannot be mistaken.
Now that we know,
it is another version manufactured by Razor
Crest. Which they said it's a surplus ship. So it would not... That would lead you to believe surplus
there can't
means
be just
there's a lot of them.
Yeah, it can't just be one.
It was just old. So
it was pre-military.
Not super common now.
Yeah.
But there had to have been a lot of them at some point.
Yeah, there had to have been more. And once again, Force Awakens, you can see it while Rey is outside of the Falcon talking with Han, and she's saying, "Oh, you offered me a job." Like that whole scene.
Solid accent. Good.
I mean, it's pretty good. They actually contacted me before Daisy. I was supposed to be Rey.
Oh, well.
It didn't go well.
Like Rey, but like, oh, I see.
It was Rye. But anyway, in that scene, in the background, that's where you'll see that red ship. Pause it or join our Discord and you can see the picture. But seriously, in that scene, you can see a ship in the background, and it just, I'm sorry.
You see like the tail end with the big...
The twin engines.
Yeah, the twin engines.
And the landing pad in the back is down. It looks like a Razor Crest. So we're really hoping... I'm hoping that you have a nice theory, which I like and I don't like, in the fact that... Tell the theory and then...
So I compared it to Slave 1.
Yeah.
Because Slave 1 was destroyed multiple times. There is actually a Slave 1, 2, 3, and 4. But it is always... The ship is a Starfire.
Yeah.
It has been named the slave one by Boba Fett. So when he would lose one, he would buy another one and start from scratch, re-outfit it, repaint it. I'm hoping that we can get a Razor Crest 2. Like we get like a similar scene to in The Force Awakens where the Falcon, which is another name of a ship, that's a YT-1300, like an M111. But there's a old Razor Crest that maybe is a little dilapidated and it's neglected, and our boy gets that. And please bring that. Don't just get rid of that ship. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Really?
What's happening?
I just realized how many calls we have, and we're really far into the episode.
Okay.
And we have a lot.
I have a lot on my phone too.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And I have
rip the time for this audio.
Okay.
We might have to save some of those for next week. Guys, thank you very much for calling in, because we have so many calls that we are gonna have to prioritize.
Holy
the
crap.
Patreons. Yeah, there's a lot.
I have 1, 2, 3 on the regular line. That's a lot of
thank you
Fulcrum calls.
Yeah, thank you for the Fulcrum calls, guys. Once again, the Razor Crest is destroyed. Super sad. I loved the ship. It was absolutely horrifying.
Now we gotta power through.
Yeah, 4 Dark Troopers confirmed on screen, subtitles and everything. These are Dark Troopers. Episode before we called out Darkness Rising. All these old games that were non-canon, they are now being, not the whole game, but a part of the game is being brought in.
Parts and pieces, yeah.
Dark Troopers come from the Imperial ship above. They land on Tython and they capture the child.
Called it.
Boba jetpacks back to the Slave One.
Weird. I wonder why Din didn't jetpack after the Dark Troopers. Oh, wait.
Yep. Mando runs up the mountain.
Runs.
Because he can't fly.
Which is apparently a 5-mile run for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, running up, we couldn't run up that hill as fast as he did.
I have a jetpack. I would have had it with me.
In a perfect world.
I have to press a button on my wrist. I've already established I press a button and it comes to me.
Boba flies back and is called off on the attack in his Slave One. Mando does not want...
I like he said, I'll do a loose follow.
He doesn't want Mando to destroy the Dark Troopers, even though Boba says that he has a lock on them. He doesn't want them, obviously, to hurt the child. Quote from Boba, "They're back." Who? The Empire. They're back. He then says that this isn't a spy stream.
I like that reference.
Yeah. To basically say, like, dude, I'm not high. I know what I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is actually happening. Mando...
Shout out to Doom.
Mando is sorting through the wreckage of the crest, finding nothing but the shifter knob that Baby Yoda used to play with and the Beskar steel.
That shift knob should not have been found. Let's be real.
I think that's a thing that we're gonna see. We could see a scene where, like, once again, he's holding it just like he does in Chapter 3, The Sin.
Are we gonna get like a weird Matrix-y type of thing where like that shift knob is like
it's the key to everything.
Takes out everything.
Yeah, it's the key to everything. Boba then explains via the code that the armor now belongs to him. He says, quote, "Your father was a foundling," end quote. Yes, even his father fought in the Mandalorian Civil Wars. This is the chain code that Boba was showing Mando.
Yes,
the deal is not complete, however. Mando says, "The child is gone," end quote. This scene in particular, me and you had an issue with. It seems so weird for Mando to sound so defeated, which is weird because John wrote this episode.
Yeah.
And we've seen episodes where Mando will do absolutely anything
and now
to get
he's
this
kinda
child.
Like, well, the child's gone,
Oh,
so...
Well, I don't have a Razor Crest.
May as well pick up another bounty.
He's gone. I'll call an Uber. It seemed weird, and obviously I'm not going to say that...
It could have been shock and trauma. Like, if you relate it to real life things, like, he could have just been in total shock.
Yeah, what do? The crest is gone, Baby Yoda's gone.
Yeah, like, the most important thing in his life was taken away from him, and then his car got totaled.
The thing that we said, though, is in the passenger episode, in episode 2, we have, or episode 3, sorry, we have this frantic Mando that we see when the child is absorbed by the sea monster and the other Mandalorians come and help him. He's like on the verge of tears, like, "Oh my God, get the child, get the child."
Yeah.
And that's that kind of shock and that fight or flight that should have came in this scene, and it kind of like just doesn't sell.
Especially
like he's just like, oh, like
especially after
oh.
the scene early in the episode where he's just like such a proud dad.
Yeah.
Like do the thing with the ball. Like he's so proud to see him do something, and he's giving him all this love and affection to be like, well, what do you mean? The child's gone. Like, done with that.
We have said this. We got to hold ourselves accountable. The plot had to get moving forward, right?
I just wanted him to be more frantically like pursuing, and like almost had to be held back and told like, "There's nothing you can do. We have to plan. Like we have to stop." And
almost
take a
hysterical.
Breath. Yeah,
almost hysterical. Yeah, like Boba
somebody,
or Fennec. Like
should've,
you got to calm down. We'll get him back.
That's
something.
the reaction that I felt should have happened in that.
It was
scenario.
almost too calm and collective for everybody. Like even Fennec and Boba established at the beginning of the episode that they understand the threat of the child. The bounty has gone 10 times
you
fold.
could buy
10 suits of armor, she
armor.
said.
Yeah.
10 times over, you could buy all this Beskar armor with the amount of money. And that scene, I think for both of us, fell a little bit flat. Then we flash back to the recap, of course. Boba explains that the deal is not done. Because the child is not safe, they are now in his gratitude. They all load upon the Slave One, and they fly to Navarro.
Who would have ever thought that? Din boards the Slave One and
I
flies
know.
to Navarro.
I wish that we would have gotten that.
Like
the scene
of
in
him walking
Empire.
onto it.
Yeah, where he's walking up.
Like
Like
the gangplank.
yes. He's literally like guarding his bounty, right? Because the Imperial guys are loading Han. And he's just looking around like he has his E-33 blaster, and he's looking around like it would have been cool to see all of them, go up into the Slave One. They land on Navarro, and the first person, of course, Din goes back to is one of his great friends, Cara Dune. He goes to her and he explains to her that he needs the help of a former assailant, which is Miggs Mayfield.
Solid acting by Cara coming up.
Oh man, I'm still a fan of the character, but.
Girl needs some work.
Yeah, and see, is this a directing thing? Like,
No,
I'm not in the industry. I don't know.
I've noticed it a couple times that she's very, very good in the action scenes. But
amazing
when
in the
it
action
comes
scenes.
to like dialogue,
Yeah.
she just falls flat. She seems, the camping comedian and I were talking about this, and his words registered with me. She seems too eager. Like she's almost waiting for somebody to finish stopping talking so she can say her lines and like jump into her lines. When in reality, like the first thing she says is, "I'm a New Republic marshal now," or whatever it was.
These stripes mean something.
Yeah,
to
these
me.
stripes mean something. They have the child. Okay. Like literally, like, okay. And
Well,
like,
she starts searching, and then
contradicts exactly what she just said without even a millisecond. And it wasn't like a shock and awe of he has who? What?
Yeah.
It was just like immediate, like, okay.
Well, one thing that's cool is you brought out that you figured that the stripes, because Cobb had it on his belt buckle.
He had that on his belt buckle. That is a marshal's insignia.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. And she was even deemed by the New Republic, like he gave it to her. So
Yes.
she now
You saw Appa give it to him.
listen,
Her.
angry Appa gave it to her, and that is pretty cool. Like she is established, and like she says, she has rules that she now has to
Now
abide
there can
by. She has
be a
responsibilities.
cop show with Cara Dune.
Buddy cop.
Cara Dune, space cop.
Cara Dune, space cop. He explains to her once again that he needs to break in and track down the light cruiser of Moff Gideon. He explains to her that they have the child. She sits forward, of course.
I hate Bill Burr so much.
We'll talk about Bill Burr another time. He's going to show up later, so we'll talk about him
Next week, I will rant on Bill Burr.
We go back to the light cruiser of Moff Gideon. Grogu is using the Force and throwing around stormtroopers
Straight
in his cell
wrecking
block.
stormtroopers.
Just throwing them around.
Force choke, then slam into each other.
Ragdolls. Moff Gideon uses his Darksaber in front of Baby Yoda, asking him if he's ever seen anything like this, which is weird to take something like that in front of a child. Weird.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby, look at this sword. Grogu is then stunned by a nearby stormtrooper. The transmission is then sent to Dr. Pershing after the exit of hyperspace, letting him know that they have the child, his asset, and the episode fades to black.
I feel like I don't even want to rant on the episode afterwards now. I'm super excited for calls.
Yeah, super excited. We're gonna go right into calls.
Like, I don't even want to talk. I want to hear other people.
Yeah, we're gonna go right into calls right now, guys. So thank you very much for our patrons. We're gonna get into our Cantina listening post right now, and I'm already seeing some people that have the 3-minute rule or the 1 minute 50-second rule. I can't even say it right. The 1.5-minute rule is getting everybody.
What is that? Are they all 3 minutes flat, so they're all getting cut off?
Yeah, exactly. So, Glenn is one of our new patrons. He left 2 messages in the first one, cut off.
I hope that he hey, I got cut off, so I'm going to continue. Yeah, and it's like 6 minutes.
Okay, we're going to go with Glenn's first then. Here we go, Glenn.
The first one or the second one? The first one?
First one.
Okay.
Hey, Konkon's Cantina. This is Glenn Osborne, and this is my first time calling in, bellying up to the bar at the Cantina.
Thank you, sir.
Having a Strongbow hard cider, because that should exist in any civilized galaxy.
My dude, not only is he at the Cantina, not only is he putting in his transmission.
Look, you know what? Already started the best call.
He already, listen, right off the top, guys, you have a bar to catch up. Glenn is listen, he's blowing y'all out of the water.
Pep.
Look, he's calling out we're in the Cantina, as always, talking about this, guys, and he's got his drink
and we've never
with
drank
him.
a cider on the show, so shout out to Glenn. Continue.
Thank you, Glenn.
Press play.
I just watched what has become my favorite episode of The Mandalorian.
Okay.
Which is Chapter 12. My previous favorite episode was
12?
9
Oh,
and then
we're
10.
going back. We're going back.
And
remember, we want to have reactions to this, so we don't preview any of these. So we're
talking about 12. We're
talking about 12.
Bo-Katan.
Yep.
And, man, this is awesome. They got Ahsoka Tano's casting perfect with Rosario Dawson. And she did a great job and looks exactly like Ahsoka Tano in the all the various cartoons that she's in.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, this was
Jedi's
done right.
Is good for her.
She had all the action. It's probably the best Jedi fight scene since maybe Episode 1 with the
Ewan McGregor,
Duel of the Fates,
Ray Parks.
Can't think of the guy's name.
There it is.
I like that he's like talking with us.
Yes.
Yeah, the red guy with 2 red swords.
Ray Parks,
remember his name.
Darth Maul. There we go. You got it.
And well, anyway, this is probably the best, the best Jedi fight scene that we've seen in a long time. Hopefully, well, it looks like she's not going to train Grogu. But hopefully we're going to see who is going to train him. I know a lot of people are probably thinking Ezra's going to train her.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I'm looking forward to Kyle Katarn.
Yes.
Since we got to see.
Pause.
Dude,
if Kyle Katarn doesn't come back, I'm going to be very sad because I feel like
he needs to be reintroduced. We've talked about this in the Discord. Thank you, Glenn, for bringing this out. Kyle Katarn needs to come back, right?
100%. I don't even want him to come back as being like openly force sensitive. I want him just to come back as like the soldier version of him.
And his attitude is everything in that game. He's so reluctant.
Reluctant. I like that word.
Reluctant. He doesn't care about anything. Right?
That's my new favorite word.
Reluctant. Listen, I don't know why that came out that way. Anyway, back to Glenn.
Uh-oh. You press the wrong.
Why is it doing this to me? Here we go.
Training him. Since we got to see some Dark Troopers that in Grogu.
I went back.
Oh.
That was my fault.
Hopefully we're going to see who is going to train him. I know a lot of people are probably thinking Ezra's going to train her.
Yep.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I'm looking forward to Kyle Katarn training him, since we got to see some Dark Troopers that sort of edges Kyle Katarn into the continuum. Continuum? Oh man.
Canon. I got you.
And I really want to see the Moldy Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just to throw some stuff out there for you to hate me over. Here's my
No,
order.
not at all.
My order of favorite Star Wars movies is
Okay.
6,
Oh,
4,
let's go.
all the animation.
6-4.
Okay, 6-4.
I
Return of the Jedi.
I like it.
New Hope.
I still would have gone Empire over all of the animation.
And then he said all the animation. Hey, listen, to each their own. I'm digging it. Okay, so we got 6-4 animation.
Rogue One,
Yes.
5, Solo,
Okay.
9, 7, 8, and then 1, 3, 2.
Really?
1,
And
3.
That's
so
an
now you know where I'm coming
interesting
from.
order.
That is an interesting.
That is
And
a
also
very-
take great offense at any time you say Monster of the Week in a negative connotation, since the Rancor monster is my favorite Star Wars character.
Yup.
Well, I'll take these comments off the air and finish sitting in the corner and
I'll take my answer
nursing
to my question off the
strongbow.
air.
Thank you guys, and I've really been enjoying your podcast episodes. I'm working my way up from episode 1, and
Oh no! And then he got cut off. The 3-minute rule gets somebody again. Glenn, we very much appreciate that.
You know, we
Dude,
need to keep a tally of
Of
the
how many
people who hit the 3-minute mark and get cut off, because it's my favorite thing ever.
we need a dry erase board, and we just write their names down. Another one bites the dust. Like just 3-minute rule. Yeah. Okay, that was a
solid beatboxing.
Listen, we went for it, Glenn.
Right. Press play on another one.
Thank you very much for calling. That was Glenn's first call, and we have another call. Glenn, we appreciate it.
I liked the end of his call where he gave us his Star Wars ranking and started it with a Cantina opening.
Yes,
Solid call.
Revenge of the Sith being that low is disturbing, but we're gonna move past it. We love you, Glenn. Thank you very much.
I'm so excited. I don't know any of these.
What's up, you guys?
Who you is?
It's your boy, Joey Hickey,
Joey Hickey calling for the
calling
first time.
in to say how much I like the podcast.
Thank you, sir.
But first, you already know
He's doing
we
Connor.
are Cantina podcast listeners. Across from me, as always, is a vodka and Sprite Zero. I love you guys, man. To be honest, it's almost midnight and I'm just chilling in the bed.
Got him.
Yeah, you are.
And I hope you got a laugh out of that.
Oh, we're.
But really, love the show. Have no idea what's going to happen next. I'm in the middle of Clone Wars, and I'm just trying to
Yes, good.
brush up on my lore. But I just wanted to thank y'all for everything that you do. And one of these days, I'm going to scrape my pennies together and give you the $100 to do a Destiny lore episode.
Destiny lore?
And
Say less. You don't even need to give us the 100. Dude, I'll do it.
Do need to give it.
Listen, dude, no, seriously.
Take a collection.
We need a GoFundMe for Joey. No, dude, that's a great idea. Me and Justin both played Destiny 1, both played Destiny 2. You're still currently playing Destiny 2.
Obsessively lately.
Yes. Dude, Destiny lore rivals Star Wars. They don't
never gets the love that it deserves.
No, it doesn't get the love that it does. Super cool. Thank you, Joey. Continuing.
And maybe we can, if y'all don't know enough about Destiny, you can Grogu it, you can Gorgle it,
Gurgle
you
it.
can Google
Yes.
it, whatever you need to do. But I wish the best to you. Also, if you can get your hands on Smirnoff Red, White, and Berry, it tastes just like the Astro Pop popsicle. That's my hot take for this week.
That's a solid call.
Okay,
too.
Smirnoff. My dude's icing us via transmissions in the Star Wars galaxy. Let's just put that out there. We just got iced. I feel like we have to buy Smirnoff now.
Oh my god. If anybody ices us.
Do you remember when I iced James with the 1 liter?
Yes.
That was good stuff. Speaking of James, thank you. Got hiccups. Joey, so much. That was a great call. Destiny, super great hot take. We are going into our next call now. Speaking of James, the Canadian himself, James Platt.
What's up, guys? It's James Platt with Placo Painting and Coating, $10,000 sponsor. Just ordered you guys a studio hot tub. It's on its way. I'll
Thank
send
you.
a tracking number shortly. Just want to call in about the episode. Amazing, but unexpected. considering last week was what happened with the live action Ashoka, I didn't think that we were going to get an episode like this with so much action. Then dropping off Grogu, hey buddy, call home. See.
I think this is a good point. Okay,
Sorry.
I think this is a good point because we said this in the Discord too.
Shouldn't have done that.
We didn't think that we were going to get to Tython this soon.
Yeah, it was like immediate.
Like literally immediate. And I mean, that's kind of like, kind of like what you said earlier is this episode or this season has been fast tracking.
Yeah.
And everything has been like at our fingertips immediately.
They give you a teaser on one episode.
Yeah.
The next episode, like they're immediately jumping on it and like
they're there.
Here's that teaser.
Yeah, exactly.
So much action. Then dropping off Grogu, hey buddy, call home, see who picks up. I thought this was going to be an episode later on down the line or even the end of season 2 with some sort of culmination between Moff Gideon and the Darksaber and Din with the Beskar spear. But here we are. I thought it was amazing. But what about Boba, man? My biggest question was like, why did he travel halfway across the galaxy and track Din to get his armor back when he was on the planet with Cobb Vanth and he didn't take it back then?
Big question.
Yeah.
That's a big discrepancy that doesn't make sense to me.
And a lot of people put that on Twitter, and it's kind of something that I feel like you just have to turn a blind eye to.
Because he obviously... So this is 5 years post Return of the Jedi, so he fell into the Sarlacc pit. Unexplained amount of time to get out of that. I would imagine it's relatively quick to be alive.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been weeks and months and days and years.
3 weeks at most.
So
due to human anatomy.
Yeah.
Give or take food and water.
He had to have gotten out relatively quickly.
Yeah.
I call it 5 years between season 1 and season 2 and the end of Return of the Jedi.
But he also didn't know where the armor was.
But he also had a spaceship. He still had Slave 1. I'm losing my voice. He also had Slave 1, so he wasn't landlocked onto Tatooine where he was a desert vagabond, for lack of better terms, roaming the desert. Because that's kind of how he was portrayed, like with the gaffy stick and the big cloak. You kind of caught this vibe that he was stranded, which obviously was not the case.
Yeah.
Because he has his ship, which is why the heck would you have not taken this obvious wearer of your armor that was not hiding it in any way?
But remember, we don't get a timeline of Cobb Vanth. It seems to appear that the second that the Empire's destroyed, the mining guild comes in and takes over.
The whole Cobb Vanth flashback scene?
Yeah. He wanders the desert. He then is with the Jawas. He gets the armor back. He comes back and frees them. Maybe it took some time for Boba to figure out that that's where the armor went.
And I guess
there has to be an amount of time where the Sarlacc spits out that armor, whatever the case may be. There has to be a time period of when...
I just got it.
You just got it?
I think I just got an idea.
Okay.
It's formulated. He was obviously looking for Mandalorian armor, trying to find his armor.
Yeah.
What if once he got out of the pit, he got his Sarlacc or his gaffy stick after getting out of the Sarlacc pit? He then is on the lookout for any references of a Mandalorian. He gets a reference of a Mandalorian coming back to Tatooine.
Yeah.
That's why he's back on Tatooine. He got the reference of Din.
Wait, why is he back on Tatooine?
Because he
left.
He was looking for his armor. He was going about his life, whatever.
Maybe not on Tatooine.
Yeah, he hears then that there's a Mandalorian that has shown up back on Tatooine asking about Mandalorians, which Din is looking for, who we now know is the same thing, but is Cobb.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like
you mean the Marshal?
A big magnet effect type of thing where they're all drawn because they're all looking for the same thing but differently.
It makes sense, and
that's
sometimes you need headcanon.
Official Sam Witwer confirmed headcanon.
Yes.
All that time, but he left it. So I don't know. Maybe it's a noob question.
Good question.
But
James.
if I was Din, I'd be asking, how does everyone know where I'm at? And 3 ships pull up, and you didn't even ask the question of how he was being tracked or
tracking.
how they knew where he was at. That'd
but he's saying how, like, Din's like...
Din.
Anyways, awesome episode.
Because he's Dodo, he's sloth.
Call in and give my 2 cents. Also, rest in peace, Razor Crest. All right, guys.
Don't bring it up. Thank you, James, for calling in.
Shout out to Dodo Din.
Dodo Din. I mean, that's the, listen, Leia can figure out that they're being hyperspace tracked in 5 seconds in, The Last Jedi, but...
Play more calls.
Okay. We have another victim of the 3-minute.
Oh, no. Who is this guy?
What's up, guys? It's Camping Comedian here.
Jesus.
Follow me
Delete.
at Camping Comedian on Twitter.
My dude coming out with the
I am
with the exposure.
For this amazing episode recap thoughts. Oh my goodness. What a...
So my brother-in-law, Camping Comedian, at 5:15 in the morning, have you watched it yet? I'm like, no. I haven't watched it yet.
I just woke up.
I've been awake 30 minutes. No, I haven't watched it yet. It's only 30 minutes long. You haven't watched it yet? O'Connor's literally blowing water out of his nose right now. Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, sorry. That you made water come out my nose. Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt, for that.
Great episode.
Listen, long pause, Matt.
Way too short, but still jam-packed with everything that can make us happy as fans.
We're seeing a pattern, too. Did you notice this? Is with the Bo-Katan episode, very action-packed, short.
Ba-Katan.
Ba-Katan. Very short. Short compared to the intro with the outro and the scenes with the conceptual art and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
These action episodes are shorter than the kind of like more storytelling.
They're like fast-paced and a ton of action, or slower and a ton of story.
Yep.
You lost your...
Oh, there. Well, sorry, Matt. There you go. You're done. You know what?
Everything that can make us happy as fans.
There we go.
Seeing Boba.
Why did it stop? Sorry, this transmission line is really acting up.
Action.
There we go.
After all these years is so cool for the older fans who he's been a part of their Star Wars life for so long, to get some good on-screen time and just really good stuff.
I feel like he's not said anything in 30 seconds.
One, pop into action out of nowhere. Oh, my goodness.
Listen, Matt.
Loved it.
Have a good day out there.
Dude, I'm so sorry, Matt. I'm not doing this on purpose.
Don't have any hot takes, per se. Just really want to see who is drawn to what our little green friend was doing on Tython.
Gimbal?
That's a really good point. Is something obviously went out into the universe.
Yeah, that big beam sent something.
And you said earlier that this necessarily could not be... The Force is not pull to either polarity. Mm-hmm. It is not light nor dark. It is the Force.
Yes.
Everybody has access to feeling the Force that is Force sensitive. It is a disturbance in the Force, if you will. This could be dark side, light side. Do we think it's going to be dark side? Probably not. Could it lead to something else? Obviously it could. But we're more leaning toward the, Ezra, Kyle.
We know the Emperor has to be alive at this point. Something that strong for sure registered on his radar.
Yeah, and we don't know how the cell service is on Exegol, but we'll see.
The thing looks pretty powerful.
Oh my gosh, this transmission.
Our little green friend was doing on Tython, and watching him expand his abilities or really show what his abilities are.
3 minutes, Matt. 3 minutes.
Great stuff. It's such a shame that the Razor Crest got blown into oblivion.
RIP.
I think that somehow, this is my hot take, somehow something's going to happen where it's either a deal made or Boba needs to be rescued or dies, and Din
I do think Boba's going to die.
Commandeering the Slave One and somehow becomes his moving forward.
I concur.
Don't
also,
you dare kill Boba.
Also, the Slave One is the model. It's not the name of the ship.
I like he switched sides. He switched sides.
He did. He said that it's...
Oh, what a troll. He literally has switched sides now.
But do you think that that's on purpose?
100%.
Okay, well.
Don't play the rest of his... I don't want to hear the rest of his call.
We have to.
Anyways,
So
looking forward
boring.
to the final 2 episodes and see where this goes and what we get set up for season 3. Super happy, and I'm trying to see
see
if
you.
I can go the full length of the
call. That's all he's doing.
Fulcrum.
Oh my God!
I told you don't play it. I could feel it.
Out of here. Thank you, Matt. Some good points is nothing.
I love that I could feel it. Like just skip the rest.
Just listen. When it's your brother-in-law, you're allowed to just be like, "Yo, forget this guy." Our next call is from Chris Machado.
He had a
Hi, this
call
is Chris
last week.
from the Foam Tina.
Yes,
here to
he's
tell
back.
you the top 10 reasons why Connor McLeod is a better Highlander than Duncan McLeod. No. I'm here to talk chapter 14
No,
of the
you
tragedy.
should send it.
Really
calling
enjoyed
into
the
your
episode. It started off, I think they tried to add a little comedic effect at the beginning, trying with Mando continuously saying Grogu. Kind of, I don't know, getting old. But loved Boba Fett getting his action in.
Hey, Boba.
Love that they're kind of bringing back that Star Wars trope of you kind of I'm in your debt kind of thing. So
you know what?
The life debt.
The life debt thing. That's huge. That's how the Han and Chewbacca relationship actually starts in the EU.
And I was talking to you about this, that I never caught that Boba was a man of honor, but it could be taken an entirely different place when it's Boba talking to another Mandalorian, because he obviously has respect for Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Or another Bounty Hunter Guild member, because he worked alongside of Bosk and IG-88 and Dengar and everybody. So
Shout outs to Dengar.
Yeah, Dengar with his... Bring back Dengar.
And the other thing, too, that has to be mentioned for the EU fanboys is that Boba might have not have been a man of honor in the EU, but that's EU. We now have Canon Boba, and Canon Boba might be a man of honor
could
that
be
sticks
switched around, yeah.
that sticks to that stuff.
Fennec
Fennec.
is
There you go.
in
You got
debt
it.
to Boba, so she's alive because of him, so she's helping him out, do his thing. Love seeing him in the armor. Love seeing the knee gun. That was just so, I mean...
Shout outs to the knee guns.
That was just so awesome. The devastating loss of the Razor Crest, which is it's also the name, but it's also the manufacturer of the ship, I believe, Connor, I'm on your team. That was very devastating. Like, they made sure there was no scrap of it left. There's nothing to repair. It's gone. Only complaint I had, I mentioned to Connor, when the first ship lands with the stormtroopers, something looks off. Like, it's either green screened or something doesn't look right.
They don't know how to shoot in
I also
on
didn't
scene.
like how it looked very Power Rangers like when they had the heavy blaster shooting at Fennec. It seemed kind of like the sparks and the smoke didn't look there. But other than that, the fighting was amazing.
They don't know how to
Seeing
do
Boba
it.
Fett just going to town on them. Seeing Grogu using the Force and meditating was just a cool scene as well. And I wish we would got more Dark Saber, but also Dark Trooper. The Dark Troopers, they did minimal. We don't see their full capabilities, so I look forward to hopefully seeing that in the future. And then see them hopefully break out Bill Burr's character next week and get the gang all back together, and maybe seeing a bunch of Mandos and Cara Dune and all them fighting together to get Grogu back. So we'll see what happens next week. And like I said, Justin, Connor McLeod is the best Highlander.
You know what? He's a good Highlander, but he's not the best.
Next will be from another one of our patrons, which is Josh. Josh left a 7-second call.
I like it. That's how we get through him.
Hey there, big boys. Oh, yeah. You can get up. Ooh, yeah.
And that's it.
All right.
Okay, moving on.
Send it.
Hey,
I just wanted to call into Justin's Cantina.
Yes,
what the hell is happening this week? It's mayhem in the cantina. We need to get the marshal in here. Get Kara in here.
No, I approve of this
right
message.
now.
Press play.
Hope you guys are drinking some nice gin and tonics tonight.
He's been watching Dr. Disrespect.
Great episode, and just want to say, oh yeah, this is the way.
I approve of this message.
That was propaganda at its finest. Okay, this is Konkon's Cantina.
Didn't even ask for this.
Listen.
Take that.
Hey guys, this is Jonathan.
Oh god,
Figured I'd
your
call
side.
in this time before I play Trouble. So
before I play Trouble.
Before.
Just a couple things. I think we've all kind of get the same feel that we're building up to like an Avengers Assemble kind of ending. So that's going to be kind of cool. I feel like
there is a scenario.
There was a small Avengers ending in season 1. I feel like this one is going to be way bigger.
And I said this in the last episode, is there's going to be a time where Boba has to bring... Or Boba.
Hey, Boba.
Hey, Boba. Oh, then soy. Mando is going to have to... Din is going to have to bring together these powerful allies.
Hey, you guys, come here.
Listen, Sloth can't do it on his own. He needs the Goonies, okay? It's the little kids that saved the day. Okay, he's going to have his baby Ruth. Look, Bo-Katan may come back. Ahsoka, we may get more Ahsoka. Unlikely. But
Cobb could come back.
There are these
Armorless
people...
Cobb Vanth. Worthless.
Well, we'll see. But there's got to be more people.
our next episode, they're going to maybe assemble their team, and then in the 8th episode, we get
Beef
like
Karga.
a nice all-out battle scene. So that'd be pretty cool.
Shout-outs to Tony, too.
I thought the episode overall was amazing. I feel like every week we're like, this is the best episode.
I was not like that
And
this
they're
week.
really doing a great job. Only thing that kind of annoyed me is I felt like there were a lot of convenient scenes. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but
yes,
I feel what he's saying.
Yeah,
100%.
Like the whole time Mando stays next to Grogu, the entire time he's on the rock trying to get him, and then
3 times
he finally decides to leave, and 10 seconds later, that's when Grogu finishes up.
this doesn't
and I'm
work.
like, well, that's convenient.
Yeah.
And then earlier, Mando had taken off his jetpack, and then I guess for some reason
Biggest
didn't
mistake
put
of
it
the
back
episode.
on, which he could have really used to go get Grogu before the Dark Troopers showed up, who were also really cool, by the way. But still, I was like, that was another convenient scene, and then Grogu's using the Force to beat up the Stormtroopers, which was hilarious. But at the same time, he's of course now too tired to do anything when Gideon comes in. So just those kind of scenes where I was like, man, this is a lot of convenient things, but overall, still an amazing episode. I think with Grogu calling out through the Force, we'll see if we get another Jedi, but maybe we get a Dark Jedi or some other
Mace
type
Windu.
of dark side user, because I don't think it would. I think if he's calling out through the Force, then anyone who's a Force user would pick up on that. So
like we've said,
that would
yep.
be interesting to see. And then I also love Boba Fett. He was amazing. That
Hey,
dude
Boba.
kicked some serious butt. I loved how his armor was a little tight around the belly. That was pretty funny.
Daddy Mando.
Makes me feel better about
that's
my
a
belly.
cosplay built for me.
But really, what an awesome episode to finally get him back as a character.
You laughed
And,
too heartfelt.
Excited to see him in future episodes as well. So, really good episode overall, and I love listening. Can't wait to. I've been loving the discussions in Discord, in our Discord chat.
Discord's
Those have
been
been
fire.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, can't wait to keep those up, and can't wait to listen to the episode in a couple days. We'll see y'all later.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan, very much for calling.
Creator of all Cantina drinking games.
Yes. Once again, you had some other calls for us.
Yes, I have. There's 4 on my phone. I will let you do the picking.
This call, I have one more before we get into that one. This was Glenn. Again, this was his thoughts on this current chapter for Chapter 14.
Hey, Konkon's Cantina. This is Glenn Osborne, and I just finished watching Chapter 14. The hits keep on coming. This is not quite as good as the last episode, but that doesn't detract from anything, because the last episode was the best episode of the entire series. So this is probably the second best episode of the entire series. We got to finally see Boba Fett in action.
Yes,
The
sir.
the original Mandalorian. And wow, he's
killed it.
When I was a kid, I used to love the Gaddafi stick. I was obsessed with it as a melee weapon, and it's something it's completely different from any other melee weapon that we see. It's got that huge knob at the end. It's got a spear at the other end, and it sort of fires up the imagination. We got to see the Gaddafi stick in its best form in the hands of Boba Fett, which is the most he's obviously a lot more energetic than any other time that we've seen him
And we said this, like the gaffy stick, dude, he freaking killed it with the gaffy stick. Like we finally we got to see it used how it meant to be used, like the club end, the spear end, everything about
the
it.
The hook, yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. He like hooks one of the E11 blaster
disarm with the hook side.
Yeah, that was sick too. Oh, did it again. Darn transmissions.
Shows he didn't just get dumped into a hole in this episode. He might have shown up our Mando.
Definitely did.
At any rate, this is one of the best episodes that I've seen, and I think even though I still haven't seen a Rancor in any episode, I think
dude, I'm all for it.
I think they're doing a pretty good job. The title is apt. The tragedies are manifold. And I think the argument over whether or not the Razor Crest is a name or
here we go.
Ship is a moot point now.
Yeah. There we go.
Also, we've lost the child, and the child, maybe he got a call off to Kyle Katarn, and
yes, I like that everybody on our podcast is like full Kyle Katarn fan.
That's about my time. Thanks for talking to you again, and thanks for the show. I love it.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Glenn Osborne, very much for calling.
2 solid phone calls.
2 solids. Yeah, he gave us, once again, any of the hot takes we take, from the older episodes. Obviously, time frame of when we record is not viable for everybody, so we like to play some other stuff.
Which also, just a quick heads up, next week we're recording on a Saturday, so you have all day Friday to get your
because
calls in.
It's your anniversary.
It's my anniversary.
Yay!
I'm going to Batu, so Friday's Batu day.
Yeah, whatever. Don't talk to me. Don't text me. Don't.
I will not take all the pictures.
Okay, whatever. Don't upload them to Instagram for other people to see either. Thanks. Appreciate that. Next, we have a new caller. Once again, reacting to this. So here we go.
What's up, guys? New listener. It's Vincenzo. Loving the podcast, people. Loving the podcast, brothers.
Thank you.
So, we have some craziness on this episode that I was kind of a little shocked that Boba Fett was actually shown this late. But then again, I wasn't really that shocked and surprised due to the fact that Boba Fett was actually tracking him down as I initially thought, because honestly, he's basically an old Obi-Wan hermit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he is hermit.
But overall,
yeah, for sure.
He really showed himself. He really explained where his father's armor came from as far as being a foundling and whatnot. But also, I never knew that he used his father's armor because a lot of speculation have said that he actually got that armor on his own. Now, I can see the helmet being for him from his father, but the armor altogether, that's some serious weathering for it to be like that. But then again, it makes total sense, so why not use the same?
And you commented on this as far as the weathering, because you're putting together a Boba Fett, Cobb Vanth type get up right now. Serious weathering, as somebody has made the costumes in general. It is an extreme amount of weathering.
Yes.
I can't remember the exact EU explanation as to Boba getting his armor. The Jango explanation is different, but now we have a canon explanation that it was his father's and it's been passed down to him, which I like personally. Yes. The Van bracers aren't exactly the same though, so they have to be different, but super heavy weathering for sure. I mean, they've been through a lot.
I imagine some type of Sarlacc stomach acid.
Yeah,
I imagine like
tearing it up,
stomach acidy situation, just eating it up and exposing the Beskar underneath.
Yeah.
Armor and not someone else's, because where are you going to get another piece of Mandalorian armor? But all in all, they really did play out the whole storyline, and they really filled in some gaps with that. Got to see the Dark Troopers.
Yes.
You know, who would have thought that we would have seen that in Iron Man fashion?
Exactly.
That's
the way they landed.
I got out of it. But, yeah, they really did explain some gaps and some loops, and it seems like we're really going to get some really authentic Star Wars legend and canon stuff that we can finally pull into the main storyline.
We've been saying
it.
Keep it going.
As far as that's concerned, the Baby Yoda DNA, possible clone Sith.
Oh, yeah.
Like Star Killer stuff going on.
Ooh.
Sam Witwer.
Dude. Think of.
Bring back Sam Witwer. He's been missed so much.
Confirmed cameo. Sam Witwer is Gogurt.
I told you he's the puppeteer.
Is that, are they trying to do a remedy of a Star Killer /
That'd be sick.
Wielding the Force? Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to get some more backstory on that. But other than that, great.
Yeah, I do too.
Great story, great storyline overall, great episode. I'm gonna probably give this an 8 out of 10, right up there with the last episode of Ahsoka. Awesome stuff. All right, guys. I'd love to hear what you guys got to say.
Thanks, Vinny.
Thank you very much for that call. Once again, check out next week. You can put in a call again. As Justin said, it will be Saturday instead of Friday next week, so we do have some extra time. Yeah, we usually are recording by like 8:30 Eastern time, so that's when we try to play the calls, but next week it'll be before then. Thank you very much for that call.
You know, guys, I gotta say, these episodes are so good recently. Can I get a hi?
Can I get a hi? Listen, please tell the story about what Landon did before he called. Because I like to think that if he left this message on someone else.
So, yeah, he told me, he's like, hey, I called into the show. And I'm like, hey, man, I just checked all of our messages and I don't have a single call from you. He's like, no, I called into the number that you posted on Facebook. And he's like, it's the, I can't even remember. What is it? 900?
It was the 900 number. And you're like,
it's like 800-8450. And I take a screenshot of it. And it's like, no, bro. It's 5480. He's like, oh. So he left. I'm assuming it's that same message.
Listen, can I
on
get
a random? Just left on a random person's voicemail.
Listen,
I also don't know our own phone number, so that's bad.
Listen, it's
something like that.
It's a secret transmission line, Justin. We're not supposed to know.
This is the public one. Uh-oh.
It's also secret.
Secret to me.
Hey, it's your boy, Tyler, third week in a row.
Yo, Tyler, I got to bring this out before we get into this. Tyler called out something amazing last week in his call-in, is that the magistrate could be...
Russell or...
No, not Russell.
Oh, okay.
The magistrate in the episode.
Yes. Elsbeth.
Morgan
Elsbeth.
Was possibly a Dathomirian.
Yes.
She was later confirmed to be a Dathomirian.
Solid anger. I didn't say it. Solid.
Listen,
of a point.
When our dark trooper's letting people into our cantina, he goes, do you have solid theories? You give him the solid theory, the dark trooper deems if you are worthy.
We've had a lot we were right and a lot we're wrong.
Listen, we're right about everything.
Solid theories, and
they're coming through.
Tyler is in our crew with a solid theory that came true.
It came true.
Because I looked it up on Wikipedia, and they're like, she is a remnant of the Dathomirian people that were killed.
Listen.
What?
Guys, this episode, man, I know I have a timer, so I gotta be quick, but like...
He's on the Razor Crest
everything
team.
was amazing. Seeing Boba again, I know a lot of the fan base didn't want this, but he's back. The Slave One is back. So
we back.
I will enjoy all the salty, upset fanboy tears from this. It was cool seeing Fennec again, and it goes back to what you guys were saying.
I agree it's cool seeing Fennec again.
I like the way they brought her back with her cyborg guts. Can't get them all her nose.
And I liked her in the first season, and I liked her name. Like, they literally named her after a Fennec fox, which is a fox that lives in, like, desert areas, and then she's on Tatooine. Like, there's a connection there. I thought that was cool. Oh, there it goes. Listen, these transmission lines are finicky, no pun intended.
In a vacuum, these episodes might seem like, oh, they're boring or they're not important or it's just a side quest.
I agree.
They're going back
in a vacuum.
And just look at the endings too. They're reusing from the New Republic prison shipbreak episode. So it's all coming together
into this,
and I think there's going to be that, as we discussed already, Avengers Assemble moment to rescue Baby Yoda. I'm looking forward to it so much.
His name is
Just
Gilbert.
hope the season doesn't end on a cliffhanger, because I will be so angry. And my only other complaint is improve the run times, guys. 29 minutes, come on, give us a full hour episode here, at least for our season finale, please. And I just love the callbacks to Django, the line, "I'm a simple man," and the Blaster Twirl. Temuera Morrison, it's just great to have him back.
Yes.
Loved it. Really sad
Live
to see
action,
Baby
not
Yoda
voice.
go, and
yes,
I expect not to see a Jedi, but whatever, But anyway, great episode. Really fun. Looking forward to next week. Loving the Dark Troopers, the recanonization. Can't wait to hear your podcast, guys. But thanks
Team
for
Razor Crest.
having me on, and we'll be chatting soon.
Listen, we're all Team Razor Crest, and we're all hurting. Okay, Justin? Stop dividing us like this country. Okay, I appreciate... What? Oh, did I miss one?
Uno más.
Oh, I did.
Por favor.
Oh, God, it's so good.
Oh, God.
Hey, guys, it's Niles. Yeah, I just finished the episode. And, man, just blew me away again.
So tasty.
Boba killed it.
Yeah, he did.
That guy just... I mean, obviously, he's the original actor, so they weren't going to cast anybody else, but...
Thank
man,
the Lord.
he did such a good job. So I'm
Timing
sold on
worked
him
out
immediately
in our
as
favor.
Boba.
Yeah.
Fat Boba.
Hey,
Which is
Boba.
nice. It gives us fat guys somebody
Hey,
we can
Fat Boba.
maybe cosplay as in the future.
Thank
So,
you,
that's cool.
Niles, for...
He's calling it out.
Me and Niles, we got it. What's up? Like,
putting it out in the
he's
universe.
like, hey, I don't got to be fit to be a Mandalorian.
Listen, I got Thor, and now I got Boba.
Fat Thor, Fat Boba, solid con.
Listen.
Solid con get up.
I think the Razor Crest is a goner for good this time.
Stop bringing
So,
it up.
That kind of sucked.
Yeah, it does.
The Seeing Stone, that was just awesome to see some force happening. That was cool.
Din doesn't know what to do with
the
it.
Dark Troopers, of course. I think this episode takes the cake so far as just me emitting screeches of excitement. I think this actually beat last week with Ahsoka. So just
I can see that in some ways.
so much action, but man, so much happened. And
It's at least cool to see and get explanations. It's nice to see, like, if there are things that we didn't appreciate, there are things that other people
I can see the
appreciated.
like seeing the ship fly, Boba's ship fly in.
Oh, I screamed.
Seeing Boba like come out re-outfitted in his armor.
Oh yeah,
definite like screeches of excitement.
Yeah,
100%. I can see where that is. I don't know if I would call it my favorite by far.
I mean, it's definitely up there. I'd put this as third best so far. Oh, okay. Your wife.
Now,
goodbye.
Bye. See you.
Robert Rodriguez directed it. It was just, he nailed it. It was just intense. Those scenes with Boba Fett versus the Stormtroopers were just crazy good. I do kind of like share the concern about it becoming like cameo of the hour.
Yes.
Yeah, cameo hour
but
for sure.
Man, they're just doing so good. So good with them. So I don't know. I'm kind of
it's
torn.
been done
It's so
tastefully
awesome
so
to see all
far.
these characters coming back because they're just doing them. They're doing right by all of them.
If as long as there is a point to them and they come back and they serve a purpose, I won't feel that it's cameo of the hour.
Yeah.
If we never see Cobb again, if we never see Ahsoka again, then it'll start to feel a little like, okay, that was for the clicks. And that was
Cobb is so deep cut that I wouldn't say that about Cobb, but I would say that about Ahsoka and Boba.
I guess, yeah. Well, it was the
Boba.
armor. It was the armor that everybody got hyped about him.
Yeah.
But now the armor is now on Boba, so I can see that, yeah.
Yeah.
So far, so. Final thoughts. So good and tasty. I'll see you guys later.
So good. Listen,
if you're on our Discord,
it's
you know that.
Yeah, it's a Discord and it's Facebook now too.
Oh yeah, I did share
It's
it on
been
Facebook
everywhere. Too. What an episode. What an episode.
KKC 2020 Kill Key Factory.
Listen, use that coupon code, free shipping till the end of the year. Instagram, kill_key_factory. Guys, this episode was good. There were some, we don't know if it's directing, we don't know if it's writing, some things that after watching multiple times, once again, super hyped, liked it. There was a couple of things. Of course, look, when you love something, you want to not pick it apart. We're not tearing it down. There were some things that, we had questions about. There were still, like, Niall said in this last call, the scene rock. We had the Dark Troopers. We still have no idea where this
we didn't even
story
really
is going.
Get to see what the Dark Troopers are capable of.
No, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
We don't know what happens when you shoot them. We don't know what their armor's made out of. I mean, this is EU things that are finally being made canon again. No idea where this story is going.
All we want to do is not be the blind parent who thinks everything their kid does is perfect, but also not be the toxic Star Wars fan who picks apart everything.
Yeah.
We're trying to find the middle line.
Yeah,
we bring out the great things, we bring out the things that aren't necessarily our favorite points.
Yeah, we're definitely positive, but not everything's positive. It's just not. Yeah. This is not possible.
Nothing is always a 10 out of 10 every time.
No. This episode, definitely. If I had to rank this episode, this is probably my third favorite so far. First
So would that be Ahsoka and...
My number one is Bo-Katan episode.
Bo-Katan, then Ahsoka, then this.
Ahsoka, then this. Then episode 1, and then Passenger. Yeah. I actually like Passenger almost more than 1 because of how much fun me, you, and Roberto had talking about the episode. Mm-hmm. It almost brings that episode up for me.
And like I said when we were talking about that, I feel like a lot of these episode rankings will change when we have the show as a complete story.
Yes. And like Tyler just said, we are looking at these episodes under the microscope. This is a vacuum.
In a vacuum of this episode on its own.
Exactly. This is a story. These are chapters. These are meant to be a continual story.
These are arcs that are developed, and there could be seasonal arcs, and there could be small 3-4 episode character arcs, but the arc of the story is fully fleshed out. We know that at this point.
Yeah.
How many seasons it's going to take, we don't know exactly. There's rumors, but they know what they're doing. It's not like this show is being written 1 week to the next week to the next week where they don't know where they're exactly going.
Yeah.
And that's why I think when we look at this stuff seasonally and series as a whole, it's going to register on a different place than this one single episode might register right now.
Yeah. Guys.
Well, see you.
Thank you very much for joining us this week on Konkon's Cantina. Look, I'm
approaching 30% if you guys haven't kept track.
Join the Discord. Join the Facebook group. Discord is popping off. Thank you very much for our callers. Of course, we have Patreon. Check us out on Instagram. I was your boy. It's Konkon. And sitting across from me, as always,
Justina's Cantina.
And we will see you next time.